Today's game is presented by Tommy's Tavern and Tap. Villanova, Pennsylvania, the site of the Wildcats' home conference opener, as the Wildcats get set to play host to the William and Mary Tribe on Family Weekend. A great crowd here on the main line to catch the final Saturday of this month of September in college football. And we say hello and welcome inside the broadcast booth at Villanova Stadium alongside Steve Pannone, Ben Curtis. So glad to be with you. Steve, these two teams moving in opposite directions from last week.
Yeah, and Villanova coming off of 2 games in a row where they're giving up over 50 points. So defense has been a big question mark for the Cats so far this season. William Mary just doesn't make mistakes. They take care of the football. They're a very solid team. They don't commit a lot of penalties, so it's going to be a game where Villanova's going to have to clean up a lot to get back in the winning column.
Well, let's take a little bit of a deeper dive into this William and Mary side. You already mentioned it a little bit. Just one of the cleaner teams in all of FCS. Top 10 in the nation in fewest penalties taken. They're one of only 15 teams that have turned the ball over fewer than twice all season. They do not beat themselves.
Yeah, that's going to be the whole thing. Villanova's going to have to find a way, which they've not done defensively, is try to create some turnovers. Try to get the ball back to their offense for some short fields. But William & Mary, very precise. They don't make a lot of mistakes, as Ben just mentioned, and they're pretty well balanced in run and pass, especially at the quarterback position.
Seeing footage of their 34-7 win over Charleston Southern that they come into this game off of the win of. Today's players to watch presented by Mainline Health, and we shine a spotlight on the quarterback Tyler Hughes, coming off of a career day, career high 296 yards against Charleston Southern, 4 touchdowns for the first time for a William & Mary quarterback since 2012.
Yeah, so obviously his confidence level is off the charts. He's really the first dual threat quarterback Villanova's going to face all year. So the ability, he's up there in the run game as well. You saw his 4 touchdowns, but he can also tuck it and move with it.
And on the other side of things, when we look at this Villanova Wildcat squad, coming off of a loss against Monmouth last time out, Villanova still ranked nationally, but with some work to do, especially on the defensive side.
Yeah, they just really need to clean it up. And 13 penalties last week as well against Monmouth. And Coach Friday not happy about that. So he's going to do really wants to see a much cleaner game from the Cats today.
For Villanova, they have work to do on the defensive side of things. On the offensive side of things, though, David Avett has been excellent. He's our player to watch today for the Wildcats. 165 total yards rushing for Villanova in the loss against Monmouth. He had 3 touchdowns. You know that he's going to be looking for even more today.
Yeah, the sophomore coming off 900 and something yards last year. You really want to get it going. But what teams have done against Villanova is they've loaded up the box 7 and 8 men. They were finally finding some running lanes against Monmouth last week with 135 yards, but 7.5 a carry. If he can have those kinds of numbers today, that'll bode very well for the Cats.
So Villanova sitting at 1-2 and 0-1 in CAA play, but Mark Ferranti knows that the rest of the season still leaves plenty of runway for this Villanova side to get back to where they want to be. Steve was earlier in the week was able to catch up with Mark Ferranti. We'll listen in to what the Villanova skipper had to say.
We're joined by head coach Mark Ferranti as Wildcats prepare to take on the William & Mary Tribe. Coach, Tyler Hughes, a little bit more of a dual threat guy than you faced the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, he's a good quarterback. He's really athletic, and they've had an athletic quarterback down in William & Mary for a while. We haven't played them since 2022, so we haven't seen this guy yet. But on film, he gets the ball to the receivers. He gets the ball down the field. They always have a good tight end, and he's done a good job running the football when he's had the opportunity to do so. And they do lean on him a little bit in the run game. So he is a really good athlete and someone we have to be aware of for sure.
And defensively, they've always been noted for their front 4. They're really strong up front. Similar this year?
Yeah, both sides of the ball. They're always big and strong in the trenches. They're always trying to win the war in the trenches, which is what most teams try to do. But sometimes guys are a little more athletic. But these guys are stout. They have a 300-pounder, a 290-pounder up front in the middle of their defensive line. Their linebackers are very active, good tacklers. They have a transfer and a guy by the name of Banbury who's leading the league in tackles right now. And they have a really good secondary on defense. And the same thing with the offensive line. Their center, McKenna, is back. I think he's a 2-time All-CAA player, and they have size up front. So they've always been, as you said, Steve, big and physical on both sides of the ball, especially offensive and defensive line.
Coach, uncharacteristically last week for you guys, some mental mistakes, things you probably worked on this week to try to clean up.
Yeah, too many penalties. We just got to play smarter. Our guys are playing hard, and the effort's there. We just, shot ourselves in the foot too many times with false starts, defensive offsides, personal foul after a touchdown, a hold, and a touchdown call back. So 13 penalties, no matter who you're playing, you're going to struggle, when you have that many mental mistakes and or some of them are physical mistakes. But when they take points on the board or stop a drive that we're going involved with, or have a penalty to extend the drive of your opponent. That's never a good thing. So we just got to play smarter this week, and hopefully we had 3 good days of practice. So we'll see. Hopefully that'll carry over into Saturday.
Best of luck, Coach. Appreciate your time.
Appreciate it, Steve. Thanks.
Well, storylines aplenty here along the main line. Don't go anywhere. Kickoff is coming up next between Villanova and William and Mary. Along the main line, Ben Curtis here with you alongside Steve Pannone. Tessa Peloso is down on the sidelines with us as well. We'll check in with her in just a bit. Well, William and Mary and their head coach Mike London want to get their quarterback Tyler Hughes right back to work. They won the toss, and they are going to receive in front of this great crowd.
Yeah, Ben, this is kind of the age of deferring, and then you see William and Mary wins the toss and takes the football. So as you mentioned, they have a lot of confidence in their offense, so Villanova will get the ball to start the second half, which for whatever reason, most coaches prefer now. That was never the way 10, 15 years ago, but now it's pretty much everyone defers and takes the ball to start the second half. But William and Mary be a little contrarian. They'll take the ball and see if they can get some points on the board early here.
You saw Mike London embracing Mark Ferrante earlier on, the two having a conversation. Mike London in year number 7, a 2008 FCS national champion at Richmond, 2011 ACC Coach of the Year at Virginia, when he led the Hoos to the Peach Bowl. Mark Ferrante has never lost 4 times to any one opponent. He's lost 3 times to the Tribe over the course of his career. We are underway here in the 2025 edition of William and Mary and Villanova. And a run back to the right side is taken down at around the 23. And that is where the Tribe offense will get started with Tyler Hughes.
Yeah, pretty good coverage by the Villanova special teams unit. That looked like Bostick on the tackle. Good job getting downfield and kind of pinning them inside the 30.
This William and Mary offense averaging about 25 points per game. They put up 34 against Charleston Southern. 2-2 on the season, 2-1 in FCS play with a loss against Virginia sprinkled in there as well. What a week it has already been for Virginia football.
Yeah, what a
as
game
Hughes
last
goes
night.
to work. Yeah, that was just one of the more remarkable college football games you'll see. If this one at all lives up to it, we'll be in for a really good one. Kyle Dobbins is in to start out as the back for William and Mary. Sophomore who has only rushed the ball 6 times all season long, as the first play from scrimmage, a jet sweep along towards the left side right there to make sure nothing comes of that.
That's Richie Kimmel from his linebacker spot. He missed the first 2 games this year, came back on a kind of a pitch count last week against Monmouth, and the Wildcats are happy to have him back at that linebacker position.
The first play from scrimmage goes nowhere for this William and Mary side, who have not been great on third down, just 42%, so you know they're going to have to stay ahead of the sticks. Talked about it in the open, how disciplined this William and Mary side has been, though. Top 10 in the nation in fewest penalties taken per game.
Yeah, now it's Josh Miller in at running back as well.
And they're going to really cycle through their combination in the running back room. Hughes is going to go to the air for the first time, nearly intercepted. Right there was Zamir Dawood.
Yeah, Dawood had just turned and the ball's right on him. Just fortunately for William Mary, that ball's down around his knees. That's up in the chest. He probably makes that play. And looking back on it, we talked about how important turnovers might be, and there was a first opportunity for Villanova to get one.
William and Mary's gone the last 3 games, including that matchup with ACC foe Virginia, without a turnover. Only 1 in the opener against Furman's, the only time they've lost the ball.
Now 3rd and long here. Let's see if Ross Pennypacker dials up some pressure or if he goes with coverage here. Showing blitz with Hartzell right up the middle of the...
Hughes will go back to work, starting to feel the pressure, goes long down the right side, fighting for it, and making the catch. Isaiah Lemond, what a grab across midfield.
What a catch, and really good coverage from the Villanova defensive back as well, but it was a really nice grab as he went right over Jordan Adderley and pulled it in.
The senior with his 11th catch of the season to lead the way, the transfer from VMI. Big physical wide receiver standing at 6 foot, 205 pounds.
Yeah, so a huge 3rd down conversion there as William Mary 3rd and 11. is able to convert and get the ball to midfield.
This William & Mary side has not started strong in their game so far this year. Also, perhaps why Mike London wanted to receive to start things off. They've been outscored 28-7 in the first quarter this year.
Yeah, and one note, too, for Villanova. Newton Essien out today.
Play clock winding all the way down. I think they got the timeout off just in time.
He's normally a starting corner for Villanova, so they went after Adderley there. And he was really good coverage, just a better throw and
William
catch.
Mary, their first of the half. It'll be 30 seconds.
So timeout just to save the 5 yards. But back to the decision we're talking about to receive the opening kickoff. The 7 points in the first quarter, by far the fewest in any individual quarter for William & Mary. So Mike London recognizing that his team maybe needs a little bit of a jolt to start a game.
Let's get more opportunities. How do you do that? You take the ball to start the game, you give yourself a drive here. And they said they've picked themselves out of a 3rd and 11, now have themselves a 1st and 10 at midfield.
I talked about the 42% that William & Mary has been on 3rd down, but so far so good for Tyler Hughes, and that was an important first throw to get him to connect with Lemond after just a tremendous day last week. 2nd in the conference, top 20 in the nation in passing efficiency. They will air it out for him some, but those middle kind of area throws are going to be so critical for him.
Yeah, and it starts up front. They had protection. He had time. He was able to step into his throw and was accurate.
You heard Mark Ferrante mention the star center, Ryan McKenna, from Doylestown, Pennsylvania. In the pregame interview, now it's a handoff towards the left side, and again, the front line of Villanova right there to make sure that nothing can get to the second level. That was Dobbins.
Good job there by the front, as Ben mentioned. Hartzell in on that as well.
We'll see if the Tribe go back to the air here early on in this one. Just getting going between Villanova and William & Mary. Wildcats have struggled defensively the last 2 matches. Hughes designed rollout towards the right, able to connect. That's Damian Harris, the transfer from Bucknell.
And once again, Adderley on the tackle. That's going to bring up another 3rd down. Be 3rd down and about 3. So the whole playbook available here to William & Mary.
Yeah, a little bit more of a manageable 3rd down than the 3rd and 11 that they started out with.
And as we mentioned in the pregame, Hughes is very capable with his legs as well. We might see some RPO here on 3rd and 3. Potentially 4-down territory inside the 45 here. See what they can pick up on 3rd. In
all 3 FCS games this year, Hughes has at least 50 yards on the ground himself to go along with the passing. It will stay with Hughes. He's looking to the air. He's looking again for Harris, and he nearly reeled in a one-handed grab.
And once again, they go at Adderley. Adderley with him step for step. And as Ben mentioned, Harris went out there with his left hand, had it in his grasp, but as he came to the ground, lost control of it. That'll bring up 4th down and 3, and a decision for Mike London here.
Yeah, early decision for the William & Mary head coach, kind of in no man's land, and they'll bring out the punt unit.
Interesting call on 4th and 3. Against the blitz, you know, they had to get rid of it quick. Good job by Ross Pennypacker to make the quarterback Hughes get rid of the football, but I thought you could try to run the football, but they haven't had much success with that.
Carter Boyd is the punter for William & Mary, a redshirt freshman.
Braden Reed back deep for Villanova.
High end-over-end punt and a fair catch called for and made at about the 8-yard line. That is where Pat McQuaid and the Villanova offense will get started when we come back. Just getting going, Tribe and Cats on the Villanova Sports Network. Back here as we get set for Villanova's first offensive drive of the day, led by their star running back, David Abbott. For more, we say hi to the third member of our crew, Tessa Peloso. Good afternoon, Tessa.
Yeah, when I caught up with sophomore running back David Abbott this week, I asked him about his stellar performance last week, but as a competitor, how do you balance being frustrated and proud of yourself? He said, you know, a lot of people told me I had a great game. He said, but honestly, I was mad. I didn't even look at my stats. I had 3 touchdowns, but I should have had 6. At the end of the day, a loss is a loss, and if we didn't score more than them, then it's not enough. It doesn't matter. So I said, how do you take this frustration and fire into this week? He said, well, I just want to be the best I could be. A lot of people tell me, you know, not every play is going to be a touchdown, but when the ball's in my hands, I expect it to be. I'm striving for greatness for this team, guys.
Great stuff. Tessa will be checking in throughout the day, and Ovid gets the ball right on cue to start things off. Ultimate team player, David Ovid is, and a sophomore who has a real hunger with this Villanova side. Could have gone just about anywhere after a great freshman year, but stayed home.
Yeah, nice hole by the offensive line there to get him 7 on first down and give him an opportunity at second and short. He's showing good patience. He's, you know, he lets the blocking develop, finds his hole, and quick to it.
Pat McQuaid, the transfer quarterback in, will hand it right back over to Abbott, lower in the shoulder, right near the first down marker. They're going to give it to him, and Villanova will move the chains.
So a couple of run plays to Ovid, and it picks up 10 yards on those 2 running plays. Wildcats get themselves kind of out of danger here.
So good start already for Abbott. Not much to do so far for Pat McQuaid, the grad transfer from Nicholls State. Really high football IQ quarterback. And a 58% completion percentage, averaging about 220 yards through the air per game.
William Mary in that familiar 4-3. Now that with their edge is actually standing up, so it's more of a 3-4 here.
Again, they go right back to the well for Avid. If it's not broke, don't try to fix it, as Avid spins and turns for another first down.
Yeah, credit the guys up front running left behind Fay, and McCullers on that side.
In a rhythm early on as David Abbott. We've talked about the 3 touchdowns that he had last weekend against Monmouth, but as Tessa alluded to, still feels like there's more in the tank.
Actually, yeah, they pulled those guys. So that was actually behind Majora Tutu and Voltaire, and they pulled the right side of the line. So nice job there by the guys up front.
See if McQuaid, the former second team All-Southland Conference member, goes to the air for the first time. He will, and he'll spin it right towards the left, incomplete. Unable to hang on to it. That time was rather along the left side, Lucas Kopecky.
Yeah, just good throw and a good defensive play. Looked like the defensive back able to get his hand there and knock it out of Kopecky's hands to bring up 2nd and 10. But you see this Villanova offense, excuse me, Ben, this Villanova offense likes that short passing game. 3-step drops, get it out quick. McQuaid's strength is his timing, his ability to know where to go with the football. They like that. Did hit some home runs in that Colgate game, but they like that bread and butter short passing game.
The lefty McQuaid back to the air again, over the seam. Wide receiver Braden Reed slipped. Don't know if he would have had a play at it anyways.
That ball looked like it was a little bit over Reed's head. Just a really tight window there. McQuaid tried to fit that ball into the freshman. Now it's 3rd and 10.
So the southpaw McQuaid 0 for 2 to start things off today, and out an obvious passing down. Villanova 28th in FCS in 3rd down completion.
Isaiah Ragland in at tailback now.
4 out in the pattern for McQuaid. Back to the drop, feeling a bit of pressure. Finds Reed over the seam. He's got room to operate a first down and a lot more for the freshman Reed.
Really like him in the slot because he's elusive. He gets into his breaks really quickly. He can gain some separation from the defensive backs. Nice throw by McQuaid. Better route run by Reed here as he gets himself that nice crossing pattern. Beautiful throw by McQuaid, and he just runs away from the defensive back.
Just outran Gerald Williams that time.
Wildcats now with their first entry into William and Mary territory here at the 44.
Couple of 3rd down and long completions now for either side as Ragland going to get the call for the first time, trying to squeeze in between a couple of defenders, and he'll gain 2.
Yeah, he showed the patience there and probably needed just to hit it up in a hole. There's just nothing really developed, so credit the front from William and Mary to kind of closing that down quickly.
This Villanova side had 165 yards on the ground overall. Of course, Abbott got the lion's share of that in the loss against Monmouth. In that opening day win against Colgate, it was all about the passing, though. McQuaid with 299 yards through the air, the most by a Villanova quarterback in their Cats debut ever. And McQuaid will go to the air again. Right over the seam is Nolan Clayton bulldozing a defender and still rumbling into the red zone.
You said Clayton with 2 hands on the football, knew he was going to take a hit. He said, you know what, I'll deliver a hit instead of taking one. And he knocked that William & Mary defender back about 3 yards and gets the Wildcats into the red zone.
First catch of the year for Nolan Clayton has a little bit of extra to it.
You'll see it here on the replay. Look at lower the shoulder right over the running back and picks up an extra 10, 12 yards.
Jaden Ratliff felt the brunt of that one. And the Wildcats into the red zone for the first time today. 6 of 10 in touchdowns when they get inside the 20. It's a pitch over for Ovid along towards the right. Ovid running downhill inside the 5, reaching towards the pylon. He'll be just short.
Let's see where they mark him out. It's going to be, you're going to say he stepped out at the, no, they're going to put him right at the 1 yard line, Ben. So Wildcats going to be first and goal at the 1. And a pretty impressive offensive drive here. Let's see if they can finish it off. Good finish by Avid. Yards after contact. You talk about that in the passing game. Avid able to get it in the running game.
Already over 40 yards on the ground for David Avid. And now the Wildcats knocking on the door of the game's first score. It's going to be right there again on the right hip of McQuaid.
Going to spread the formation here.
They'll go right back to the well. Ovid lowers the shoulder and scores. Villanova strikes first. Here against William & Mary, it's another touchdown for the star sophomore David Ovid.
You talk about complimentary football, Ben. The defense comes out, gets the stop after William & Mary takes the ball, and then your offense takes the ball and goes 92 yards in a drive and puts themselves up 6-0 with the PAT pending.
After an 18-point loss against Monmouth in the conference opener, couldn't have scripted a much better first 7.5 minutes than what has played out from Mark Ferrante's side.
And you saw Ragland run the football, Ovid run the football, passes to Reed, to Clayton. Got a lot of different guys involved as well.
Jack Barnum, the transfer from Central Connecticut State, on to tack on the extra point. That goes through without a problem, and it's 7-0 Wildcats here after 1 drive apiece.
Timeout on the
We'll
field.
Step aside once again. Excellent start for the number 20 team in the nation trying to defend home turf. Start here for the hosts at Villanova Stadium as we welcome you back in on Flow Sports. Ben Curtis, Steve Pannone, Tessa Peloso with you on a college football Saturday afternoon in front of a packed house.
Great crowd on hand for family weekend here on the main line.
Got here a couple hours early, and there's always stadium traffic around, but the stadium traffic was a little bit earlier. We were here for hours tailgating back behind the stadium and around campus. Tailgate on the green was sold out today. And it's been a great atmosphere building up to this 3:30 kickoff.
Hope for a Wildcat win and then out for a nice dinner afterwards.
And so far so good for these home fans. They saw their team march right down the field, and David Ovid punch one in from the 1 yard line. Ensuing kickoff is run back to around the 25 as the Wildcats rally to the ball. And that is where Tyler Hughes will set up.
Another good job by the special teams in the coverage units, pinning the try back at the 25 both times now. Now you want to talk about the complimentary football. You got that stop, you got the score. Now it's about let's get a 2-score lead. So let's get a stop, get the ball back. Let's get some more points and try to build that 2-score lead.
And for Tyler Hughes, the junior from Georgia, the gauntlet has really been thrown down on the other side. He saw action in 6 games last year, but was playing behind star Darius Wilson, who fans might remember as the Offensive Player of the Year in the conference all the way back in 2021. This is the first year that this is really his team, as he is going to go back to the air. He's got plenty of time to operate. Now he's going to pull the ball down and use his legs, which he can do as well as anyone in the conference, out across the 40 for a first down.
Yeah, it's just good coverage by the Villanova secondary, but normally you have Hartzell or somebody in there as a spy. He got kind of stuck in the wash in the middle of the line there, and Hughes made a good decision to get out. He escapes the pocket. You see Rogan there, now he's got to go with the tight end. But Wobodeau gets blocked in a little bit, and Howard as well, and there's opening here on his left side.
187 yards coming into the start of play. First flag flies of the day. Hughes overshot his receiver.
It's going to be either a neutral zone or an illegal formation. Let's see what it is.
Talk about how infrequently this William & Mary team has been
Offside,
penalized.
number 41, defense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
And Steve, you were talking about how much Villanova has been penalized with Mark Ferrante earlier on.
Yeah, and then Garrett Rogan is your safety. You can't have your safety lining up in the neutral zone. That's, he's got to know better. Just get back that half a step and just gives up a free 5 yards. Those are the pre-snap penalties that Coach Ferrante talked about all week with his team.
Rogan, the senior, as Hughes designed rollout, looking right and in and out of the hands of Thompson.
Yeah, and I think Adderley's got a gripe here. He's like Thompson give him a shove right in the back. No call. I thought that could have been an offensive PI.
There is another flag on the field. We'll go down for it.
Going to be a late hit.
Offside.
Oh boy.
Number 44, defense, 5-yard penalty, results in a first down.
That's Kimmel.
Yeah, I didn't see anyone jump, so he must have been lined up in the neutral zone as well. So there's a first down given to William & Mary on 2 offsides penalties. I didn't see anyone jump early, so he must have been lined up there. So you have a safety and now a linebacker lining up offsides.
And that'll move the Tribe not only into a first down, but into Villanova territory as well. Remember, William & Mary got into Villanova territory last drive, but stalled out right around here on the field and opted to punt and pin the Wildcats deep.
And give him 5 on first down, tackled by Aiden Howard. Got off his block.
That's Rashad Raymond, who we're seeing for the first time today. Leading rusher for the Tribe, averaging about 53 yards per game.
Yeah, did not have him out there in the first series.
They go right back to the well with him again. He is going to try to push the pile. It's going to be about a yard short.
Yeah, they're going to stop his forward progress at the 41. So that'll bring up 3rd down and 2.
This is the 3rd stop for Rashad Raymond. Started out at VMI, then UT Martin, and now in Southern Virginia again with William & Mary. So obviously as experienced as anybody out there on the field.
This, you would think at 3rd and 2 might be 4 down territory. We would probably know by this play call if they're run the football.
Hughes is going to look to pass again. Wheel route out towards Raymond, who got past the first defender and is inside the 30.
And Rogan came up and that was Kimmel, didn't wrap up, just tried to lower the shoulder on him, and Raymond looked him back and just stayed right up, picked up a first down.
Well, Raymond stands at 5'11", 205 pounds, very stout.
Kimmel just didn't wrap up. A good drive going on here for the Tribe.
William & Mary's kicking game has been a significant issue, though, this year. They are 0 for 1 in total in field goals over the course of this season, as they're going to be penalized for the first time today.
I saw a false start, but now the umpire stopped him in to see. Hopefully he doesn't change his mind. There was movement on the Villanova front, but then the tackle moved. Let's see if they switch this up.
Discussing who moved first, but back to that conversation, that makes Mike London's decision-making a little bit different with how much the Tribe have struggled in the kicking game this year.
Ball start, number 65, offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Cameron Fry.
Yeah, that'll go against William & Mary. See the jump there by the defensive end, then he moves inside. I don't know if he ever got into the neutral zone. So that's what they must have said. He didn't get in the neutral zone, and then you saw 65 move Cameron Fry.
Cats might have gotten away with one there. It is first down and 15. But William & Mary knows that they're going to have to score via the touchdown because the kicking game hasn't really necessarily been there this year.
And it's very unusual for William not to have a good kicker. Look like they're setting up the screen here, and they are. See if Hartzell can get out there, and he does.
It's for Tariq Sims, who gets back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd and 10, so you get the penalty yardage back.
A good read by Hartzell on that. He saw the screen coming. He got through the wash and got out there and made the tackle after a 5-yard gain.
And William & Mary went out into the transfer portal and got a kicker from a premier program. Keegan Shackford comes in from Iowa State, where he handled pretty much exclusively kickoff duties and not field goals. And so it has been a struggle to find points through the kicking game as they look long down the left side in the direction of Lemond again. Flag flies, he made the catch.
They like that matchup of him against Adderley. And just throwing those go routes and one-on-one ball and letting him use his athleticism and strength to go get it.
Isaiah Lemond, the senior, going up one more time, and
pass interference. Number 4,
penalty
defense.
Will be declined.
That penalty is declined. Result of the play is a completed catch for a first down.
This William & Mary Tribe team into the red zone for the first time.
Yeah, you'd see now if Rossman, you might have to roll a safety over the top of that to help Adderley and then that matchup.
And once William & Mary gets into the red zone, they have been very difficult to stop. 80% of the time they get inside the 20, they score a touchdown.
That's because they have that good balance of run and pass, so you really can't make them one-dimensional.
Hughes going to look to the air. Now he tries to scamper away from some trouble, and he's brought down.
That'll be the first sack of the day for Villanova. Aiden Howard in there, Bursey around the football as well.
Important stand from the Villanova front three, at least in the early going of this red zone trip.
Yeah, Hartzell at the bottom of that pile as well.
The 2nd and goal from the 10 as Sims will be the back for William & Mary, continuing to cycle through Raymond and Sims and Dobbins. Man in motion is Armin Wright. Hughes looking right. He's got the back. Sims behind the original line of scrimmage. He stays on his feet, moves around one defender. What a move by Sims. Touchdown Tribe.
Yeah, it's just another set of missed tackles. There's a flag down, so let's wait on this just for now. William & Mary coaches are kind of say something, but this might be coming back.
Greg Klingensmith was out there, number 79 for William & Mary, the sophomore from Pennsylvania. Looked to be the one pleading his case to the officials.
Now they're going to say it's good. I see the extra point guys coming on. Maybe they're going to pick it up.
Well, we'll get the announcement here.
Result of the play is a touchdown. During the play, personal foul, illegal block below the waist. Number 27, defense. That 15-yard penalty be tacked on the ensuing kickoff. Try for point.
So the touchdown stands, and then the field position ramifications off of the ensuing kickoff. As Shackford will try the extra point, which have been less of a concern for William & Mary. They're 13 of 14. The lefty kicker will tie up this ball game at 7 apiece. Tariq Sims with an incredible move as he makes the touchdown grab, his first score of the season. Just incredible elusiveness along that right channel.
Yeah, just a missed tackle there by Adderley. He's got to get him to the ground. And then the finish by Sims.
The Old Dominion transfer.
Villanova looked like they have this well defended. You see two rushers coming up. Both guys miss. And there's the penalty on Hawkins. You saw him going low in on that play. Hit the blocker below the knees.
Really well-touted recruit out of high school by Old Dominion. He was a top 65 recruit in the entire state. Spent 4 years with the Monarchs. 2 touchdowns last year for ODU before hitting the portal and coming to the CAA. And now the Villanova defense will have to try to figure out how to stop the Hughes to Sims combination. These kickoffs at the 50, always very interesting how you approach after the 15-yard penalty. One school thought you just boot it through the back of the end zone.
I'm always a guy that thinks about there's an opportunity to onside kick here if you want to. You know, if they cover it, they're going to get the ball at the 36 or 7. Is it worth the risk reward for maybe an extra 10 yards of field position?
I always thought more teams should do that. You're giving up essentially 1 first down via a touchback. But they are just going to boot it all the way long through the end zone. And so it will be Villanova to start things off once again for Pat McQuaid in more traditional field position.
So William & Mary had an answer there on that drive, aided by some Villanova penalties. First 10 yards came on offsides calls, and then the field position here based due to the illegal block below the waist on Anthony Hawkins on the touchdown play.
If William & Mary is going to have more success defensively, you're going to have to call Luke Banbury's name a little bit more. Player who is 4th in all of FCS in tackles per game and leads the CAA. Transfer from Cornell.
Villanova's offensive line did do a good job on that first drive, making lanes for Abbott and for Ragland.
And here is the latter of those two going forward for about 2. Got to keep an eye on where Banbury is at all times. Wearing number 4 will be in kind of the center of everything that he does. You see him there in the center of your screen.
Yeah, he'll call the signal. You see the green dot in the back of his helmet. He calls the signals for the William & Mary defense.
What a get he was in the portal for head coach Mike London. 50 tackles already this season through just 4 games. Everyone set up towards the left of Pat McQuaid. They'll hand it off again to Ragland. Counter towards the right. Ragland couldn't get past the first defender. That's a really good wrap-up, and it had to be.
Yeah, so he gets a handful, and now it's going to bring up a big third down here as William & Mary tries to get off the field for the first time. You see the pull in there. Good job. Good kick-out block there by Fay. Reed unable to get that defender out of the way, and he's able to make the play on Ragland.
Looked like it was Jalen Jones, the cornerback, who crept up to the line to make the play. It's a 3rd down and medium for the Wildcats.
And Colella has yet to be targeted. Wildcats leading receiver.
Wearing number 1 for Villanova. They go back to Reed over the middle. He couldn't hang on. They're going to say that it's an incomplete pass.
Yeah, he had both hands on it, never got it tucked away. And that would have been a big first down. Unfortunately, unable to secure the football.
So the play is an incomplete pass. It's 4th down.
William & Mary hoping that Reed was able to make that football-related move and that would result in a fumble, but it didn't look like Reed ever really secured it.
And then we got the second step down.
What a hand, though, that was from William & Mary, though. Cater Trotter was there to punch it out. And so Villanova will punt. Some pressure on the Wildcat punter, but the fair catch is made at the 27-yard line. So William & Mary back to work on the offensive end. Jordan Whitelaw made the fair catch, or rather that was Wright who made the fair catch. So the Wildcats with more work to do defensively.
William & Mary able to get that 3 and out. Defensively get their offense right back on the field. Now the challenge comes back to Villanova.
Villanova had not given up 50 points in a game in 20 years before that Penn State loss. Obviously no shame in falling to a team that's going to compete for an FBS national championship. But then you lose 51-33, and after not having given up 50 points at all in 20 years, they gave up 50 points in back-to-back games for the first time since 1954, back when Steve was a freshman here. Hughes will go right back to the ground for Raymond, who is bottled up.
Yeah, Villanova's done a good job against the run today. William & Mary's been spreading it out, looking for that isolation, trying to get one-on-one with Adderley at the cornerback position.
Sorry for the cheap shot there. I read that stat, and I was like, oh, there's no way that's not going to happen at some point.
Well, you're not that far off. That's the scary part.
Hughes.
Bostic in the corner, so he'll rotate in with
Yeah.
Adderley. So Bostic's going to get a shot out there on, I don't know if it'll be Sims or...
Looks like it's Raymond who is out there again. They're looking at him. And now Hughes going to pull it down and take it on the ground himself. He'll have a lot of room. With Villanova's in man, they're going to have their backs to Hughes.
And Hartzell missed him. He's the spy in that play. So if he gets by Hartzell there, then he's going to have a lot of room to run the football.
And there's been some success for Hughes on the ground. He is William & Mary's leading rusher so far today.
And just right there, Hartzell misses him. Once that player, he makes that first man miss, there's a lot of room out there.
Hughes scrambling again, trying to get back to the original line of scrimmage. He'll get just about there as Dawood was able to take him to ground.
Good hit from his cornerback position. Put a good lick on the quarterback.
When you see a running quarterback on the other side, you know, especially those secondary players know that they're going to have a chance to make a quarterback feel it. Tribe don't have to run a play here at the end of the first quarter. The play clock and the game clock are about simultaneous.
I was going to say, don't look like they're in any hurry, but now they get up over the ball.
And have one more play to perhaps set up a third down. They nearly got Villanova to jump. They did. Free play for the Tribe. They're going to go long down the left for Harris, who reels it in.
No, it's going to be intercepted, but it's just going to come back.
It does.
Yeah, Hawkins on the interception, but I think this is going to come back.
It is. It's a Villanova offside. It should be, and it's Harris who is back down behind the play. Rather, that's Alfred Honesty, number 3, not number 4.
Let's see what the call is. It looked like 2 Villanova linemen jumped, so that'll be their 3rd offsides in their 3rd series today. Still waiting for the official word from the referee.
Certainly looked, though, like Villanova again was beaten by that snap count.
And he just mentioned the William & Mary bench offsides Villanova, which obviously they'll accept.
Yeah, that free play for Hughes, just trying to air it out long, but Honesty caught the brunt of that.
And Honesty's still down. Like catching his wind, maybe.
Hopefully it's just that, yeah.
He gets up on his feet.
Good to see him be able to walk back over towards his own sideline all by himself. Those are the dangers you don't really think about with those free plays. You just want to chuck it up and give your wide receiver a chance, but there's still going to be contact. Body doesn't know when a flag has been flown. They're in the middle of a play. This should be offside.
Number 99, defense, 5-yard penalty. It's 2nd down.
That's number 3 already.
Yeah. Savodi jumping.
So there is still going to be one more play to run here in the 1st quarter. It'll be 2nd down and about 5 here for the Tribe.
I don't think they realize it's the end of the quarter. Well, it's not.
I
don't realize it. Now they wind it, and then they'll switch sides.
So 1 quarter of play is complete. An early
That's
touchdown
the end of the 1st quarter
for Villanova through David Abbott is answered right back by a Tariq Sims touchdown reception. And after 15 minutes of play here on the main line, it's 7 apiece between the Tribe and the Wildcats here on Flow Sports. William & Mary and Villanova getting set to start the 2nd quarter of play. Tribe are sitting at 2-2, looking for another winning season. They've had 4 straight winning campaigns for the first time in the 21st century after that great run of 8 straight in the 1990s. It has been a really good run for head coach Mike London with the Tribe, and they're looking for more against a nationally ranked side. They'll go right back to the ground, will the Tribe. Rashad Raymond will power forward for about 3 after the play, a little bit of extras back behind the play.
Got to bring up another 3rd down here. 3rd down and about 1.
So again, William & Mary staying ahead of the sticks, setting up these third down and manageables.
And Villanova helping them out with the 5-yard penalties.
They go right back to Raymond again, finds a little hole to get across midfield and across the first down line.
A good job out of that offensive line to get enough push.
The penalties right now, 4 penalties for 30 yards for Villanova. Just the 1 false start for 5 yards for William & Mary, the only knock on them. Talked about it in the open in case you're just joining us. William & Mary, one of the least penalized teams in the nation, as that was set up for Raymond, but right there to read it all the way were the Wildcats.
Yeah, Bostic right on that. He came off his route, saw the ball going into the flat, came off his receiver, makes a nice play on the ball. See him there, pass it off, and then get right in there and give a hit. I don't think it would have been completed, but he made sure it wasn't as they look for Raymond out of the backfield.
Really good instincts for a redshirt freshman. Able to read the game like that. Got a good start to the year already with his second pass breakup of the season.
That brings up 2nd down and 10. Wildcats need to generate some pass rush here.
Hughes has had a pretty comfortable pocket. He's got another one so far today and room to pick out his receiver. That's Joseph Johnson over the middle.
The ball came out.
It did. Right at the very end, they're going to say the ground caused the fumble. Yes. It's a first down.
Maybe we'll get another look at that.
Not at the very least that he was down.
Yeah, not a lot of complaining from the Villanova players. Let's see if his knee is down before the ball comes out. See, good protection up front, and that's just too much time. If you give a good player that much time, he's going to find somebody.
And Hughes is on the run as we look back. Yeah, that's clearly down. Hughes gained about 3 on that last play, rolling out to the right. We're back to real time here early on in the second quarter. Joseph Johnson is a junior from Alexandria, Virginia. That's his longest catch of the season, a gain of 24. And again, this Tribe offense is humming. That did not look in sync for William & Mary.
It'll be a false start. So we talked about the Villanova issues on the defensive line. It's a second false start.
Number 69, offense. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
It's a redshirt freshman, Lyndon Clemens.
The big fella at 6'7", 305 pounds. So he moves, everything moves.
Yeah, some players you can get away with. I think that one's going to be spotted every single time, but it's time for Clemens to get this much playing time.
Tackle.
Yeah. And Greg Klingensmith is the starting right tackle.
Wildcats rotate A.J. Cuckoo in at one of the defensive end positions, trying to keep fresh bodies on her and create some pass rush.
Hughes again with all day to throw, looking left. He's got Johnson again for another first down.
Yeah, Ross Pennybaker's going to have to switch it up. The 3-man rush is just not going to get it done. And you can't allow your defense to just sit back there and get picked apart. You're going to have to get Hughes off the spot. And then he's a very capable runner, but just too much time. You can't expect your defensive backs to cover for that long a period.
Another gain of about 15 as Hughes with another chance to run it himself. He's going to be brought down behind the line of scrimmage.
The Tribe got away with a hold in there.
It will be 2nd down and about 12. No flag on the play that time. Lemon going to come out of the game. He's been one of the favorite targets for William & Mary.
You see the Villanova defensive linemen coming off. They look fatigued here early on. They rotate 3 new ones in.
Former Bucknell wide receiver Damian Harris is into the game as Hughes is looking in his direction towards the corner, out of the reach of Devin Thompson, but a flag.
Yeah, a lot of referees are going to call that close. We're going to have pass interference on just about every down. Any contacts, that ball's well overthrown. Didn't really have an effect on the play, but it's going to be 1st and goal for the Tribe.
That's what Mark Ferrante, you would imagine, is saying.
Pass interference, number 36, defense. Ball he placed in the spot of the foul, automatic. 1st down.
That'll be on Demille Bostic. Here you'll see the ball will be probably out of the picture there, but that ball's nowhere near eligible to being caught.
That's certainly what Mark Ferrante is saying.
To me, you just let that one go.
I think the William & Mary side of that coin is that it wasn't catchable because they didn't let Thompson get into his route.
Well, unless he's 7 feet tall, I don't think he's catching that ball. It's well overthrown out of bounds. I think that's what they're looking at now. They're going to walk it down all the way to the 5-yard line. And
standing at 6'4", 190 pounds is Thompson, the transfer from Stetson. He's able to keep his same color scheme with that green and gold.
Now if you're Villanova's defense, try to find a way to keep him out of the end zone.
Wildcats have struggled in the red zone defensively, allowing points of some kind 92% of the time. Hughes rolling out to the right, looking towards the right side and in and out of the hands of Jackson Blee.
Yeah, Dawoud with good coverage on the tight end. William Mary, for years, has always had a good tight end. They like to use him, especially in the red zone. Good job by Dawoud there to get off the play and get a hand on this one. Everything's flowing one way. He comes back. And good job there to get that left hand in there and knock it away.
Tribe tight end room is very deep this year. They've already got 2 tight ends who have caught 2 touchdowns each in Jackson Blee and Sean McElwain. But plenty of options for Hughes to choose from, including on the ground with Raymond, who finds a hole, and he is going to be just short inside the 1.
So they're going to mark him down at the 1. It'll be 3rd and goal. They're going to try to go hurry up here before Villanova can make any substitutions on goal line.
Tribe have the Cats on their heels. Hughes going to try to power it in himself, and Hughes is...
No signal yet.
They're going to have to peel these players apart to see where Hughes might be, and who knows where he was when he was down. Touchdown!
I don't know how you can wait that long. You either saw him cross the line or you didn't. Because once he's down, he's down. Then you just move the ball forward, and by the time the referee gets in there, it can be over the line. I'm not saying he wasn't in, but I just don't know how the officials can wait that long to make the call. You have to see him cross the line or his knee go down.
So for the first time today, William and Mary is in the lead as the junior quarterback with his 2nd rushing touchdown of the season. And now an opportunity for Shackford to make it 14-7. He'll do just that, and the Tribe have a 1-score lead.
But once again, William & Mary takes advantage of the Wildcat penalties
on the field
to take their first lead of the game.
Villanova looking to respond when we come back on Flow Sports. We welcome you back here to Villanova Stadium. 14-7, William & Mary with the lead as the Wildcat offense will get set to go to work. The Tribe outgaining the Wildcats 163-98 so far. And the main story on the defense, there just has not been nearly enough pressure on Tyler Hughes.
Yeah, Hughes has had all day to throw, and like you see, you just put that much pressure on your defensive backs, give them that much time. You see some wide open throwing lanes and then the pass interference as well. It's just, you got to find a way to generate some pass rush to get Hughes off his spot and throw quicker.
See if anything can come from special teams to change the flow of this game that is now firmly in control by the Tribe, at least in terms of the momentum. Solid return out across the 25 to about the 27, which is where Pat McQuaid will set up. Still nothing so far for Luke Colella. You imagine that McQuaid going to be looking in the direction of the guy wearing the #1 jersey.
Yeah, and that was a nice return by Mace there to get them out past the 25 to the 28. Yeah, we've seen him hit Reed on a couple. We've seen him target Kopecky as well, but It's been pretty much run heavy for Villanova, and you see Ovid back in the backfield.
McQuaid is 2 for 5 for 48 yards, a catch of 25 yards from Clayton and 23 from Reed, and that has been it through the air through just over a quarter for the Wildcats. Double reverse back over to the left side. That's a way to get Kallela involved. He's out across the 40, and some inventiveness for a first down for the Cats.
Yeah, a little something different there. It kind of gets your momentum back. You're feeling like you're on your heels a little bit after giving up the 7-0 lead. Find yourself down. Go to the bag of tricks a little bit and go with the reverse.
The former Princeton Tiger getting involved on the ground. First down for the Wildcats to move the sticks. We'll change the play at the line. Keep an eye on that play clock. Still plenty of time for McQuaid. Chris Bowden, the offensive coordinator, reaching into his bag of tricks to start off this drive here early on in the second. Now back to the ground, and that time right there to meet it was Banbury.
Banbury finally got some help up front. He got him a free run and was able to get to Ovid.
Ever dangerous is Luke Banbury. We talked about him, the graduate student. When it's all said and done, you imagine he's going to find himself on all sorts of all-conference and perhaps all-American lists. He continues the way that he has played so far. 16 tackles in the opener, the most by a William & Mary player since 2016. Screen is set up for Clayton, and right there where the Tribe, they read that very well. 3 white jerseys there.
Yeah, a little different. They go tight end screen, and William & Mary had that read.
The third down package going to come on for both sides. It's third down and very long.
Yeah, it's a big series here for Villanova after giving up 14 straight. McCullers not unable to get out there on Boring to make that block.
Both teams have converted on a third down and long earlier on back in the first quarter. Now McQuaid going to have to do so again here in the second. Flag flies, free play here for Villanova. Looking over the middle, incomplete.
This is going to come back anyhow. Wildcats had an illegal formation. The tackle was not covered up. No one got up on the line of scrimmage.
And there's a Wildcat player still down.
That's Braden Reed, who took a shot in the upper body area.
A good call on the illegal formation, Steve.
Yeah, I saw it right down in front of us. They had 3 receivers out there. None of them got up on the line of scrimmage.
Right now the concern is with Reed. That ball was certainly flat over the middle for him. And the Tribe were right there to meet him in a big way. So it looks as though for the moment that the Tribe are going to get off the field. So we get the penalty. At first they're really going to try to attend to Reed, and this is certainly not a good sign.
No, I did see him move his hands and his right leg.
Well, there's always obviously injuries on the football field in any game, but some certainly scarier than others, and these types of injuries where you have 5 or 6 players, 5 or 6 people in the staff standing over them.
He's actually up on one knee, so.
These are the scariest ones.
Yeah, it looks like he's able to get on his feet. Very wobbly as he walks his way off.
Boy, oh boy, you certainly hope for the best for Braden Reed, freshman with a huge future in front of him.
Yeah, that would be a big loss if he can't return.
He's been a big part of the Villanova offense in his first year on the main line.
And he's also their punt returner as well.
Illegal formation, offense. That penalty is declined. It'll be 4th down.
So another pre-snap penalty for Villanova. So what Coach Ferrani talked about all week about cleaning up has not shown itself here in the first half.
Carson Jenkins is back to receive the punt. Luke Larson, the oldest player in Division I, booting it away, and it's going to be run back by Jenkins, and right there to swarm to it was Villanova. 3 blue jerseys there to make sure Jenkins was going nowhere.
It was Jason Hall down there on the coverage to pin him inside the 10. So credit Luke Larson with a good punt and a better job by the coverage unit. He'll end up losing yards on that return.
Inside the 10 is where they'll pin the Tribe to start this drive here, just about at the midway point of the second quarter.
Villanova defense really needs to stop here.
Hughes is 9 for 13 for 119 yards and a touchdown. And Hughes has also been the leading rusher so far for the day. 23 yards on the ground.
Ben, you got him backed up here inside the 10. You'd love to get a 3 and out to give your offense some decent field position.
Right now, it's the visitors who have all the momentum. Hand off to the right side. Raymond going to rumble forward near the line to gain. He's going to be across the 15.
He's going to get 7 on first down. That's really what you want to do with those running plays. You can pick up more than 4. You feel good about it. But now you put yourself at 2nd and 3, and you got the whole playbook here. Good job on first down by the Tribe.
You get into a high-scoring, back-and-forth shootout kind of game. The Tribe are very well prepped for that. It's worth mentioning now that they're on the precipice of it already, that in the last 5 years, when this William & Mary team scores 20 or more points, they are 31-8. Again for Raymond, bouncing off of one would-be tackler across the 20 for a first down.
And now they're starting to lay a hat on a hat up front here. You saw the passing game earlier. They came out throwing the football. Now here pinned back with a 7-point lead with 8 minutes to go in the second quarter. They're looking to run the football a little bit and burn some clock.
Good mix of run and pass for the Tribe so far. 119 yards through the air, 56 on the ground. Delayed handoff on the draw over towards the left side, bouncing away from a couple of tacklers, and now being brought down is Jordan Whitelaw.
Good job by Kimmel to stay with that. Also, Christian Sapp from his safety position was first to make contact.
Whitelaw's the 4th different back that William & Mary's already used, along with Raymond and Miller. And Sims, who has the touchdown, the first of the 2 touchdowns. Now Hughes will go back to the air. Finally, some pressure on him. Hughes off of his back foot will just float it out of bounds.
Yeah, finally got some pressure. It was Wobedeau and Hartzell in his face, and Hughes made a smart decision here to throw that one away, not take the loss.
So 3rd down for Villanova, a chance for the Wildcats to get off the field. On 3rd down so far today, William & Mary 4 of 5. They've been excellent on this down.
And with a bunch of defensive backs here, 3rd down and 8. Tyson, Javon Williams in as well. There'll be 6 defensive backs, a dime package here for Villanova.
What can the Tribe dial up on 3rd down and long? Hughes looking left, right there to meet it was Dawood, and the Wildcats are going to get off the field.
Yeah, that was very well covered by Dawood. Not really. That ball probably needs a little bit more air under it for his receiver to have a chance to make a play on it. But a good job by Dawood with him step for step.
They were again looking for Thompson, which has been one of Hughes' favorite targets.
So Villanova's defense does its job, and they'll get the ball back. Tanner Maddox will be back to return the punt. He was out last week with an injury as well, so they try to keep him out of punt duty, but with Reed down, they go back to Maddox.
Very thin at that position right now are the Wildcats, but Maddox will make the fair catch in excellent field position here for Villanova. Not a very long punt. They'll get the ball at about the 46 with just under 7 minutes to go in the first half. What'd you like to see on this Villanova drive that we haven't really seen so much of in the early going?
Yeah, I think it's, they got it. The run plays, you got to stay away from the negative plays. First down, if you're going to run the ball, you got to get 3 or 4. You can't look at 2nd and 11, 2nd and 9. First down's so important on both sides of the ball. It just sets you up for the rest of the plays in that series if you can get something good on first down. Ragland in at running back this series.
Just a 32-yard punt from Carter Boyd puts Villanova in excellent field position. They'll go right back for Ragland, who's had mostly gains of 2 or 3 today. He'll have another kind of similar run.
Yeah, once again now you got 2nd and 9. It puts you in a tough spot.
Ragland's been averaging only 2.7 yards per rush. Abbott with 43 yards has been by far the premier back so far today for the Wildcats.
Yeah, and I know you kind of rotate your backs. You don't want guys getting worn out. You got a whole another half to play. But they need to get Isaiah going here a little bit, too, to give him some balance.
We'll see how aggressive this Tribe defense is. 14 straight games forcing a turnover, the largest active streak in FCS. McQuaid back to the air, looking over the middle. There's Kalela.
Just a seam route right down you go right down the hash mark, and a good throw from McQuaid, and a really good catch by Colella knowing he was going to take a hit.
The transfer leads the Wildcats in receptions, in yards per game. A lot of statistics on the receiving side of things that Colella has come right into camp with and excelled at.
That's a nice job getting two hands around it, knowing you're going to take a hit.
So Villanova on the move here towards the tail end of the first half. Remember, Wildcats will get the ball to start the second half too. William and Mary won the toss and took the ball receiving it.
There's a good job by Ragland there. Gets up almost 6 yards on first down. Yeah, you talk about that, Ben. If Wildcats can punch one in here, get a stop, get to even, and know you got the ball to start the second half. Kind of get a 2-for-1 score situation.
It's the longest run of the day for Ragland so far. Now Jabril Mace, the sophomore, will come on in as well. Still no Avid on this drive.
Yeah, they like to get Mace literally out in space where he can make guys miss. One of the fastest guys on this roster.
See what Chris Bowden has up his sleeve, the offensive coordinator and quarterback coach for the Wildcats.
Empty backfield.
They split Mace out wide in the slot. McQuaid looking down the middle again. That's incomplete. Looking for Colella one more time.
And Colella had his hands on it, but then it was, I think, Ethan Yip got his hands in there, made a nice play defensively. I thought Colella might be able to pull that one in, but Yip got his right arm in there to knock it away here. I think you'll see on the replay.
A
really good throw by McQuaid, right on the money. And then a good job by Yip just to knock it out of Colella's hands.
The senior from British Columbia, Canada.
Now it's 3rd down and 4. Big decision here, and Ovid back in the game.
Jack Barnum's long is 39. This would be just past that. Looking at about a 42-yard field goal and now more.
Another false start by Villanova. Another mistake.
False start, number 89, offense. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
The freshman tight end, Sean Weldy. So, 3rd and 4 sounds a lot better than 3rd and 9. So that'll back the Wildcats up. And also, if there is a field goal attempt, that knocks it back another 5 yards.
So see if that changes the minds of the Villanova coach, now thinking about perhaps 4-down territory here.
Yeah, I think a lot of that may depend on what they can pick up here on 3rd. Colella back in the game. He was out for a play.
Avitt's back into the game as well. Avitt has the lone touchdown for the Wildcats so far. Almost more movement again. McQuaid going to pull it down. He'll throw over the middle. He's got Kopecky for a first down.
That's a really nice job by McQuaid. He escaped out to his left as a left-handed thrower. And we talk about it, Kopecky, give your quarterback somewhere to throw the football. Give him a target. Use his wide body. Got in front of the defender. Huge first down pickup for the Cats. You'll see him here rolling out left. The left-handed thrower finds himself head up the field. And a nice job by Kopecky running with him for the first down.
Good composure from the graduate student. Did not panic when he was flushed down to the pocket. And now the Wildcats in the red zone again.
Yeah, they go double tight end with Clayton and Weldy both in the ball game. So he's probably thinking run here.
They've got Avitt set up. And they do go with Avitt to follow the tight ends. He's got a lot of room. David Avitt, house call for the 2nd time today. And Villanova's a point away from tying this up.
Yeah, credit those 2 tight ends, and they pulled Ajora Tutu into the gap, and Avitt goes in from 15 yards untouched.
The sophomore waltzing into the end zone. He's got 5 touchdowns in his last 3 halves. And an extra point away from being back on level terms.
So a good answer by the Villanova offense to hopefully get them even here with the PAT.
You knew that, or at least you got the feeling that Villanova had to make that short 34-yard punt count with the good field position. And they drive right down the field, 6 plays, 54 yards, and they tie it up with 4 minutes to play before the first half comes to a close.
That's a good point, Ben. You talk about that short field. You usually think of short fields come with turnovers, but take advantage of the short punt like you mentioned. You only have 55 yards to go, and they're able to execute well here. And look at this run here. You see Ajora Tutu, 74, pulling in the hole. Good kick out block there. Nobody in front of Ovid as he walks it into the end zone to tie it up. Ajora Tutu there at left guard, 74. Good job by Faye and McCullers pinching down. And a nice gaping hole. That's just the way they draw it up on the chalkboard. And Ovid walks in for an easy score.
Ajora Tutu got over there quickly, moving his 6'5", 310-pound frame from left to right in a hurry to seal the block for Avitt, who has just had another blistering start to the day. 7 rushes, 58 yards, 2 touchdowns.
And on that drive, Kopecky with a catch, a big third down conversion. That's the 15th straight game. So every game he's played for Villanova, he's had a completion. So, a catch in the passing game. And a huge third down conversion here to keep that drive alive. Otherwise, it was decision time for Coach Ferrante on 4th and 10.
Ensuing kickoff will go into the end zone, and Tyler Hughes will start up again at the 25.
Well, good job by Barnum there. Not much wind today at all, but got a good foot into that one. Wildcats will start their defensive stand here at the 25-yard line with 4:01 to go here in the second quarter. So a big opportunity for this Villanova defense to try to get them off the field here. And then you can maybe get your offense back, with a minute and a half to go, something along those lines. Both teams with 3 timeouts left. William & Mary with only 2 timeouts left. Villanova with 3.
Tribe had to take that early timeout on their first drive as the play clock was winding all the way down. And we're back on level terms again. Back and forth we go in front of this great home crowd.
And there's a big play here. First down on a drive. Who wins this battle?
They'll keep it on the ground. Raymond spinning away from the first would-be tackler. Getting close to 4 or 5 instead of 1 or 2.
Yeah, Capri Martin had him at the line of scrimmage. He's able to spin away from him and pick up 4 yards on first down.
Conditions relatively mild. Crowd has been excellent. It has made for a great setting for a CAA conference football game in front of this Villanova crowd that has seen the Wildcats win 17 straight games at Villanova Stadium dating back to 2022, the second largest home winning streak in FCS, as again Hughes is on the run. Took a hit as he was sliding.
Yeah, but he picks up a big first down, and that's just the dimension of the quarterback run. It's so hard to defend.
Gain of 12.
Villanova fans saw that so much with Connor Watkins over the last 3 years. He can decide on that RPO to pull it down and make plays in the run game. Hughes, same type of player.
Hughes and Raymond each with 35 yards on the ground, and Hughes with 119 through the air as well for the Tribe. They go back to Raymond again, nothing doing. Got just past the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of 1, but that's it.
Yeah, Eden Howard on that tackle. I guess they might stretch it out to 2. The Wildcats win there on first down.
Tribe averaging just under 4 yards per rush. Wildcats averaging close to 7. Thanks to the explosiveness mostly of Abbott.
And William & Mary not in any hurry, but they do need to snap the ball before the 2-minute timeout. About a 12-second difference.
They're thinking as well about making sure that Pat McQuaid doesn't get to touch the ball again in the first half, though. Hughes will go back to the air. Free blitzer came, and it was nearly intercepted.
See, Ben, that's what pressure does. It forces the quarterback, Hughes, to throw the ball before he wants. That almost led to an interception. So Hartzell timed that just right, able to make contact. And more importantly here, Villanova can get off the field here on third down. They're going to have 2 minutes and 3 timeouts on offense. First things first, they got to stop a 3rd and 8. See Hartzell right up the gut, timed it well, good contact, and Hawkins is almost there for an interception.
Anthony Hawkins, the redshirt freshman, would have had his first of his Villanova career.
I know, Ben, it's the first half. It's a big play in the game right here. Wildcats can give themselves an opportunity, knowing they're getting the ball to start the second half. Can they get off the field?
Momentum swinger one way or the other. Hughes looking left. He's got a man, and it's caught. It's Thompson going long down the left side into the red zone.
Yeah, and they're just picking on Adderley today. They see that matchup, and they love it, and they just run go routes down the sideline. And now a huge play in this game is 3rd and a bunch.
This is the 2-minute timeout.
Enough time to throw, and Adderley's just 2 steps behind him. Javon Williams just late. Probably not a great angle that he took either. Not supposed to let a guy get behind you, and unfortunately he did.
A huge gain for William & Mary, and they're set up at the 2-minute timeout. Conclusion to the first half when we come back.
Mainline Health is the place where both your health and humanity matter, where ultrasounds come with understanding, where tests are met with tenderness, where EKGs are as important as empathy, the place where you will never be your only advocate, the place for a lifetime of care delivered neighbor to neighbor. Mainline Health, where human care has a home.
Okay, fam. Quick stop in Montgomery County, but we have to be at Grandma's by 5 p.m.
Do we have time to stop at the mall?
KOP! Yes! Do we have time to hit the slopes?
Skiing at Spring Mountain.
Do we have time for Santa? If we have time for wildlife at the zoo?
Do we have time for food?
I have a list of 1,800 restaurants.
Yum! Do we have time for an overnight?
I feel like we're forgetting something.
When you spend the holidays in Montgomery County, your other plans can wait.
Honey, call them again.
A 37-yard link-up between Tyler Hughes and Devin Thompson has the Tribe set up right at the 20-yard line into the final 2 minutes of the first half as the Tribe look to get a lead to take into halftime with. Ben Curtis, Steve Pannone, Tessa Peloso here with you from Villanova Stadium. Hughes again with a good pocket. Now he'll pull it down. Hughes looking to the end zone, and he had his man in Lemon, who is thankfully back into the game.
Yeah, but you force him to get him out of his spot, make him on the run. He's not as accurate throwing the football, especially going to his left right there. He had to come across his body and had a receiver in the end zone, but ends up throwing this ball out of bounds because he just doesn't get his body turned. See, Hartz will give him chase. That's a really tough throw going to your left.
Would have been Lemon's first score of the season as he found a little bit of space behind the defense.
And now if you're Villanova, you're just trying to hold them to a field goal attempt, 2nd and 10 from the 20.
And you keep in mind the struggles with the field goals we've been talking about for William and Mary as that one's knocked away.
Good job by Kimmel to get his hand on that. Now once again, this Villanova defense has themselves at a 3rd and 10.
Tribe have already attempted 10 fourth downs this year in just 4 matches. We've talked about the struggles on 4th down to score points other ways. So we'll see if that comes into play here. If the Tribe can't convert on 3rd down, they are 5 of 7 on 3rd downs this afternoon. All 3 receivers split out to the right of the junior Hughes. He's looking that direction, out of the reach of Armin Wright.
And
got
more
a hand to it.
That was 3 plays they ran, 3 incompletions. So the clock's still with 1:46. Let's see if they go. You talked about their issues with the field goal team, but they're going to try one here. It'll be about 37 yards.
Keegan Shackford is 0 for 1. They also have Sam Braidwood on the roster, but he is almost exclusively a kickoff guy as well. So the Tribe going to look to right the ship in terms of the kicking game.
And so Wildcats will get the ball back here with about a 1 minute and 42 to go.
37-yard attempt for the former Iowa State Cyclone has plenty of distance, and it is good. Well, you wouldn't know it from that kick that they've struggled.
A lot of distance on it, and right down the middle. The Wildcat defense gives up 3, but gets the ball back to their offense with 1:41 to go.
Good response from Villanova's defense after giving up the 37-yard completion. That timeout really couldn't have come at a better time for them to push the reset button.
No doubt about it. Now you got a chance here for your offense. If you can put a 2-minute drive together, say go up 21-17, then you get the ball to start the half to give that opportunity to get that 2-score lead we talked about early when it was 7-0 way back when.
Really good ball game here today on the main line. Appreciate you joining us here on this Saturday afternoon. Game that has gone back and forth. Both sides have had the lead. And now a chance for Pat McQuaid to run a 2-minute drill.
So Braidwood was good from deep. Braidwood will kick this one off.
And that was Shackford who had the field goal. Then Braidwood,
as you mentioned, primarily just a kickoff guy. Let's see if Wright or Mace that are deep can get the Wildcats some field position.
It's a low kick.
See if that'll go out of bounds. Now it's going to go into the end zone, so that works to William & Mary's advantage.
That took a Tribe bounce for sure to go vertical instead of horizontal. And so 75 yards for Pat McQuaid to operate to try to lead his team down the field. If you're looking at the target for Jack Barnum, it was 1 for 2 on the year with a long of 39. So you're looking at getting around that 20 to 25 yard line or so.
Yeah, I think Coach Ferrani trusts him probably inside of 40 for sure, maybe 45 if the clock's running out and it's 4th and long, that kind of situation. Certainly has the leg to get there. The accuracy would be the thing from that distance.
Transfer from Central Connecticut State might be utilized here at the end of the first half if McQuaid can lead the team down inside Tribe territory. Southpaw's back to work over the middle. It's nearly intercepted.
Yeah, that throw just got away from him a little bit as he was looking for Nolan Clayton, a tight end, tried in a little seam, trying to find him in a tight window. And let's see if this one might be a little behind him, it looks like. Yeah, I think he thought that Clayton might check it down a little bit sooner. But Clayton kept going out there an extra couple yards, and that one ended up behind him, and Wildcats are fortunate not to turn it over.
Jalen Jones nearly got it the other way for the Tribe. Banbury might have gotten a touch to it to redirect it as well. McQuaid back to the air again, over the middle again. This time he's got Colella, who took a big hit across the 40.
And he pops right up. A tough kid. That's a huge first down. Now the Wildcats out past the 40. Still plenty of time and 3 timeouts, so no reason to rush.
You talk to coaches about these 2-minute drills, they'll tell you the first down is critical, is to get things moving a little bit more in rhythm. Now McQuaid flushed out, flag flies, he'll throw out a play.
It's in the vicinity of offensive holding.
An interesting decision here, too, for Mike London.
Holding, number 67, offense. 10-yard penalty.
Kyle Fay was the one that turned around and looked at the official like it's almost like an admission of guilt.
And whenever you have that who me look.
Well, you see Fay out at right tackle here. Let's take a look at this.
Oh, yeah.
Just kind of pushes him down to the ground, wraps him up. Those are always tough to call because the defender's kind of sliding. He's losing his footing, and you kind of just lay on top of him as you throw him to the ground. A lot of times that gets called as holding. So first and 20 here.
It's almost like you're losing an edge in hockey when you come around that corner. McQuaid this time has room to work with. In and out of the hands of Colella. He couldn't hold on.
And he takes another big hit. There's going to be a late flag. Let's see what this one is.
It was in that area where the collision came.
Coming in from deep. This is the field judge coming in from way back. So if it's an illegal contact or hit to the head, we'll see. It came after the play. Let's see what we have here. Defenseless receiver.
Personal foul. Targeting, number 39. Defense. Previous plays under further review.
So all targetings get reviewed.
That's
so
Stephen Hicks. Call.
So, yeah. So we saw one of these in the game last week where if it's not targeting, they're going to pick the flag up too. So we'll see. It wasn't just a late hit. They can call that as well. Let's see. We'll get a good look at Clough. Just unable to pull a little bit up and stretched.
See, the problem there for me in terms of the targeting is that Colella is lowering his head to go and get the ball.
That's a bad call. There's no targeting there. There's not even head-to-head contact. His head hits his thigh. So this is, I believe, will get picked up. But I'm usually wrong. So let's hope I'm wrong again.
Well, you don't need the head-to-head contact. You can have that crown of the neck and helmet as well. But yeah, my issue with that is that Colella's reaching down with his head to go and get the ball.
And I think if we can get another look at that, you'll see where the contact with the head is. I think it's with his thigh.
Hicks, a transfer from Virginia Tech.
I don't like this call.
And if you're unfamiliar, if this stands, he would be disqualified from the rest of the game.
Yeah. Let's see if we get a look here. There's Colella at the 45. The helmet doesn't even make contact with Colella. There's a forearm to the head, if you want to call that. But a lot of times they call that football.
Yeah, there are a couple of different elements that you can get targeting. I think the only issue there for Hicks, for him to be in any sort of jeopardy in that kind of situation where Colella's reaching down, is if he leaves his feet, which it didn't look from that angle like he did. That should be picked up. Yeah.
Yeah, this is going to get picked up unless they see something that Ben and I don't, which is usually what happens.
There is a school of thought which I don't disagree with, which is that if it looks close like that, you throw the flag because that gives you the chance to go back and look at it.
I understand that.
And they certainly are having their fair share of looks at it.
We had a play earlier in the season in the Colgate game where there was a catch on the sideline that was questionable if he got his foot in. And I like them to call him out of bounds because that gives you more time to go review it. You call him inbounds, and Colgate smartly got right up over the ball, and the replay official never had a chance to review it. It probably ruled that he was bobbling the ball and should have been an incompletion.
Ended up being a 24-17 win for Villanova, still their only victory of the season through 3 games.
So this would be 2nd and 20 if this is picked up.
What this also does is give both teams an extra free timeout. Villanova will be able to set things up.
Let's see what they have to say here.
After further review, there is no foul for targeting. The result of the play is an incomplete pass. It's going to be 2nd down.
That was pretty obvious, I thought.
So missed opportunity is kind of the overall takeaway from that.
In years past, they would take the targeting off, but the personal foul would still hold up. Now they're allowed to pick up the flag, which is the right call. There was no penalty on that play by the defender. So unfortunately for the Wildcats, it's 2nd and 20.
If you're William and Mary still with 2 timeouts, if you get a stop, maybe you think about stopping the clock and getting a little greedy looking for more.
That's why if you're the Wild, you'd love a completion here. And let William and Mary decide what they want to do.
McQuaid looking long again, looking for Colella again. It's just out of his reach. There was some hand fighting there.
Yeah, he just couldn't get his body turned around. Looked like he was going to get some space to make that play, and unfortunately, he just couldn't get his body turned around to locate the football.
Flag stays in the pocket of the referees, smartly, I think.
Timeout for an injured player.
The player down is a William and Mary secondary player.
That'll
back
help.
behind
You
the
see
play.
Colella there. He just ran 2 pretty long patterns. He could use the break here as well.
Well, we'd love to identify who that is. That's a good angle to see. It's Ethan
14, yep. We talked about him. He made a nice play down earlier on the goal line, taking one away from Colella.
Well, you hate to see anybody go down with an injury, but certainly not a senior.
Like he's going to get to his feet.
Player as tough as Ethan Yip. Last place you want to be is you happen to be the one to tell him, no, you're not staying in the ball game.
But now 3rd and 20 here from the 31.
Hopefully we see Ethan Yip back out on the field very soon. Critical part of the secondary for William and Mary.
And you mentioned now, what does Villanova try to do here? They try to hit a home run like they just did, or they just try to complete something, pick up 10 yards, and play field position if William and Mary wants to use that last timeout. You know, obviously 3rd and 20, it's a low percentage. You're going to make this first down, but you would like to keep the clock running and force them to use that timeout if they choose to.
Villanova 2 for 4 on 3rd downs so far this afternoon. McQuaid 6 for 14 for 99 yards through the air.
It's going to start up front. Can you give him time? These guys need to run these patterns.
They are going to look over the middle. Catch is made by Kopecky. It'll be short of the line to gain by about
4th and
2.
If I'm Mark Ferrani here, you have a decision to make. Obviously, you can let the clock run down and then take a timeout, not leave them a lot of time. Maybe try to draw them off sides here and then punt the football.
Offense isn't going anywhere for the time being. Gain of 18 for Kopecky.
I think that might be and Wildcats will take that timeout. Now they can decide what they want to do here at 4th and 2.
First charge, timeout of the half. Villanova. It'll be 30 seconds.
Just their first of the half, as you heard, so still plenty to work with in case they do go for it and get it. In terms of the timeouts still left in Mark Ferrante's back pocket.
What are you doing here, Ben?
Well, William and Mary has been able to get a couple of home run plays. Catch of 26 from Lemon, catch of 37 for Thompson.
Yeah, I don't see the punting unit getting ready, but they are now getting them ready. I would punt the football here, I think, just because you're getting the ball to start the second half.
That is kind of the overarching theme when you're making this decision.
Now, I have no problem coming out here and trying to draw them off sides.
If anything, the extra 5 yards
would help the
serve
punter.
to help Luke Larson.
And Mace is in, so I think if they were going to snap this ball, they might go to Ovid. You would think he'd be in the game if they were going to snap it. And they're going to try to, use Ragland and Mace as probably decoys, try to get them out in motion to see if they can get somebody to jump.
This William and Mary team so disciplined, though, over the course of this season. They are going to go for it. They hand it off to Ragland. Stiff arm to get around one defender. That's going to be very, very close.
I think he's right at the marker, and they're going to give him a first down. The head linesman comes in. Villanova should use a timeout here.
And they will.
Boy, that was close, Ben, but the head
Second
linesman
charge,
right in front of us.
Half. Villanova.
Called first down.
30 seconds.
Mark Ferrani, the Riverboat Gambler, goes for it and succeeds by about the hair of an inch of a football maybe here. And good job by Ragland, just staying with it. Good tackle there as well.
Latrell Smith leaks.
Smith leaks coming up from his safety position. But more importantly, a first down for Villanova. And they'll still have one timeout left in 32 seconds to try to get this thing in the field goal range.
Well, scared money don't make money. And Mark Ferrante rolling the dice here at the end of the first half. That's also a sign of confidence to the running back room.
You've got a very experienced offensive line as well, too. And hey, guys, I need 2 yards here at midfield.
Mark Ferrante trusting his guys, and it paid off.
They got Mace out wide here. I would not be surprised if they try to get him something downfield. He's got, as I mentioned, probably one of the fastest guys on the team. Get him single coverage to see if he can make a play downfield.
Only one timeout left now for Villanova. McQuaid looking long over the middle, in and out of the hands again to the intended target.
Stevens had it right in his hands. He's in for Reed in that slot position. That would have been 1st and 10 at the 35. So an unfortunate drop there for the young player Stevens.
Riley Stevens just couldn't quite hold on. Redshirt freshman out of Ashbury, New Jersey. Made a good cut back to the football. That just ate him up.
That's another good throw by McQuaid, who's been pretty accurate here today. Wildcats are looking, they probably need at least 20 to 25 yards to feel comfortable for this field goal.
McQuaid looking over the middle again. He's looking for Stevens again. And the same result as before.
Now 3rd down and 10. 23 ticks left on the clock. The Wildcats will need to convert here.
Tribe looking to protect a 3-point lead, go into halftime with the advantage. Looking to go 2-0 in conference play for the first time since 2023. William & Mary's gone in and out of conference play.
If you take a shot downfield with a one-on-one play, you get that PI, which you pick up 15 and get you right where you want to be in terms of a potential field goal opportunity.
Tough to game plan that against a team that commits as few penalties as William & Mary does. As McQuaid looking left for Kalila. He's got him for a first down. Clock will stop momentarily.
They should spike this football here if they can so they can save that timeout for the field goal unit.
There's a player down for William & Mary.
Well, that's a big benefit there.
That's Jalen Jones, who's down.
Timeout for an injured player.
Not that someone is hurt. I don't want to say it that way, but the benefit that the clock stops, and that allows Villanova to get huddled up here. Now the clock will start on the referee's whistle, but the Wildcats can be up and over the ball with 17 seconds left here. 35. Right now you're at a 52-yarder, so if you can pick up 7 to 8 yards, you probably give your kicker a chance here.
Well, this would be a huge loss for William & Mary. Jalen Jones, the senior, is the anchor of this secondary. Second most tackles, rather, of anyone among the defensive backs for William & Mary.
And that's 2 defensive backs we've seen go out on this drive.
Yep, as well. That's a good call, Steve.
So it starts, limiting your numbers back there. It looks like, I don't want to speculate, but like he has an issue cramping.
They certainly hope that's all it is.
Walking off under his own power. It seems like hopefully he's going to be okay.
It's worth noting that the man listed behind him in the depth chart, number 2, Trevor Cannon, is just a freshman.
Yeah, so an inexperienced player behind him. So now it's 1st and 10 from the 35, 17 seconds left with 1 timeout remaining. Wildcats would love to pick up another 10 yards or so. One more first down would certainly get them in Barnum's range where they feel comfortable.
Cannon is coming into the game, bottom of your screen, wearing number 13. Looks like he's keeping an eye on Kopecky. See if they look in that direction. McQuaid looking towards the right instead, where he's got Kalila right at the sticks. He has to get out of bounds, and he does.
So that gets him a first down. 8 seconds left. Do you trust your offense with one more play here?
You got a timeout.
You do have the timeout. I'm throwing something to the end zone here. Take a shot.
You've got an experienced quarterback in McQuaid.
I'm using Kopecky's size, or maybe get something out to Kalila here down the bottom of the screen.
At the moment, you're looking at a 42-yard field goal.
Yeah, and now if you catch the ball in play, you got to go right down. Can't try to pick up an extra couple yards with only 8 seconds remaining.
McQuaid looking towards Kalila again, towards the pylon. Flag flies. He is short, just short at the 2.
It's going to be offensive pass interference. That's going to take him out of field goal range as well. Not getting a lot of breaks from his side judge here today. So
pass interference, number 1, offense.
Oh, that's the one thing that can't
50-yard
happen.
penalty, first down.
That's the one thing that can't happen if you're Villanova.
Let's see, they're going to have to punt the football. No, they're going to actually go for field, excuse me.
Yeah, there's 3 seconds left.
So this would be a 50-yarder from where are they going to put the ball?
This would be very, very long. This is a 57-yard field goal. And Mark Ferranti going to take a timeout.
The half. Yeah. Villanova.
Now you got to be worried of a return if this thing is short. Are you going to kick it low and get it blocked? I think I just throw a Hail Mary here in the end zone.
Jack Barnum is 1 for 2. He made from 39.
Yeah, I think that's the more higher percentage play really is a Hail Mary into the end zone. You might get pass interference and get those 15 yards back. And the half cannot stop on a defensive penalty. If you think Barnum can get it there from 57, they know his range better than I do. But that just seems like a long kick. But they're going to give him a shot at it.
All right, here you go, 57-yard field goal.
It would have been an interesting decision if that wasn't called. The Wildcats would have had first and goal at the 1 with 3 seconds left. I think obviously you're going to end up going for it from there. Let's see if William & Mary wants to use one of their timeouts.
Jack Barnum started at Albany, then Central Connecticut State before winding up at Villanova.
So it'll be officially 56.
There is a player back for the Tribe.
Yeah, I think that's a smart play. And then William & Mary uses their timeout, kind of ice the kicker.
Second charge, timeout of the half. William & Mary, it'll be 30 seconds.
Let's see if this gives Wildcats a chance to rethink this, but I think they've got their mind made up.
Jordan Whitelaw was the one who was back underneath the goalpost for William & Mary to perhaps run one back.
Yeah, and obviously the coaching staff knows Barnum's range much better than I do. It just seems like a very long kick here. It's like my putts. None of them that are short ever go in, so you got to be able to get it there first off.
Sounding like what's happening at Bethpage Black this week.
I didn't want to bring up golf. It's not a good day for the Americans, I don't believe.
No, at least when we went on the air, yeah.
Now, this ought to be fun. I don't know what the school record is, but I guess we could look it up at halftime. But it's going to be darn close if he makes this.
The miss for Barnum was 47 against Penn State.
Yeah, this will be inside the, yeah, this will be 46 and a half. Excuse me, 56 and a half. See if he can get it there.
To tie up the game before going to halftime, Barnum from a long way out does not have the distance or the accuracy.
Hey, that ball did carry, just well wide.
So at halftime, it's William & Mary with a 17-14
That's the end of the
lead.
first half.
Cats are going to get the ball to start the second half with work to do at home if they're going to extend their 17-game home winning streak dating back to 2022. A lot to come at halftime when we return on Flow Sports.
Doesn't that cloud look like a giraffe?
Yeah. And that one looks like a weird bird.
A puffin, like our insurance mascot.
Speaking of the policy puffin, any update on our insurance claim?
No, not yet.
Some insurance companies are known for their mascots. At NJM, we're known for putting our policyholders first.
Want to put the tarp back up there?
I'll go get the ladder.
No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. NJM.
Thanks for getting these sub bowls. Of course, no problem, big bro. Let's eat.
Danny DeVito? What did you do with our uncle?
Well, that doesn't matter. This is a commercial for Jersey Mike's. What matters most are these sub bowls.
Wait, has Danny DeVito been my brother my whole life?
I guess so. Don't tell Mom. Your favorite sub, hot or cold in a bowl. It's a Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
Doesn't that cloud look like a giraffe?
Yeah. And that one looks like a weird bird.
A puffin, like our insurance mascot.
Speaking of the policy puffin, any update on our insurance claim?
No, not yet.
Some insurance companies are known for their mascots. At NJM, we're known for putting our policyholders first.
Want to put the tarp back up there?
I'll go get the ladder.
No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. NJM.
Today's game is presented by Tommy's Tavern and Tap. We welcome you back here at halftime between Villanova and William & Mary here inside the broadcast booth alongside Steve Pinot and Ben Curtis. Here with you, we'll check in again with Tessa Pelosa, the third member of our crew, in just a little bit. 17-14, the Tribe lead at the half. Both teams had the lead in that first 30 minutes, but not the smoothest of games for Villanova.
No, about what we saw, but still too many penalties. A big one late, that offensive pass interference took them out of field goal range, an opportunity to tie that game up. Or if no calls made, they had first and goal inside the 1. So the penalties still a big factor. Villanova tried to clean that up this week in practice. In this first half, not so good so far.
Turned about a 42-yard field goal attempt for Jack Barnum into a 56-yarder, which he missed right at the horn to end the first half. For Pat McQuaid, he had a couple of looks at Colella. Some went, some didn't. Braden Reed being out in the first half as well.
Yeah, Braden Reed was off to a good start as well. Some balls in hands, a couple of drops as well. So just not clean football. And Mark Friday talked about it all week. Got to be clean, and hopefully some halftime adjustments here. I think more pressure on the William & Mary quarterback is going to be key in this game. He's done a good job when he's been able to sit back and find guys. So it's going to be defensive pressure, and then Villanova, I think that continued blend of Abbott and the passing game.
Tyler Hughes was not only able to find guys through the air, but also with his feet too. He's been a good dual threat.
Yeah, and most of those have been design runs. He's broken a couple out of the pocket, but he's gotten his big plays kind of in that RPO game where he's kept the ball and made a couple of first downs.
Look at the top performers for Villanova over the course of the first half. McQuaid, 142 yards through the air. David Abbott with 2 touchdowns yet again. He's been great.
Yeah, he's been great. I think they're probably going to have to feed him a little bit more, and I'd love to get a lead and then just kind of use him, lean on that offensive line a little bit. Hartzell defensively has been good. He's got the half sack, 3 tackles, and a tackle and a half for a loss.
See if we can take a look back at some of the impact plays of the first 30 minutes of play. Both teams, like we said, had the lead at various points in the first half. It started out pretty well for Villanova, especially with Abbott.
Yeah, they got that stop right away, and then Abbott with a couple of touchdown runs in this first half. See him finishing off a good run, getting it down to the 1. And here he'll punch it in here to get in the Wildcats an early 7-0 lead. But William & Mary was able to answer.
Yeah, both teams, like we said, were able to punch and then counter-punch. Tyler Hughes had a lot of room to work with, especially in that first quarter. The offensive line for the Tribe was big.
There, the one time Villanova did a good job in the second there, but he's able to break out of containment, pick up a first down with his feet.
156 yards through the air for Hughes and 35 more on the ground. That was a great play from Sims.
And Natalie had a tough half there, missed tackle. They've kind of thrown at him on a few of these possessions. You'll see him a lot of one-on-one today. They'll probably try to get his safety over the top to help him.
And they've been very good in the red zone as well as William & Mary. That time it was punched in on the ground by Hughes.
Yeah, quarterback keeper there by Hughes. That gave him the 14-7 lead. And here you saw a nice play by McQuaid getting out and finding Kopecky. That was a 3rd and 10 that he was able to convert. Really important to turn that around. And then you saw Abbott here kind of walking it into the end zone from 15 yards out, untouched.
That was a big turning point to tie things up for Villanova after the extra point. But then William & Mary kept on driving. They got themselves back into field goal range, courtesy of this big 37-yarder to Lemons.
Yeah, I think that was 3rd and 11. And there's this deciding points in the game right now. The long field goal is up and through. And here's the play. I think this is going to be the play down at the 1-yard line. Like they see that they call the offensive pass interference there. Otherwise, it would have been 1st and goal inside the 1. And this kick actually had more distance than I thought. It ends up, Cicero bounces up against the white fence, just well wide right, but almost there in terms of the distance.
Certainly a difficult ask for Barnum to end the first half. Look at some of the numbers that told the story. The penalties really jump out.
Yeah, that's what's been Villanova's problem all year long in terms of the last 2 games. 74 yards, 8 penalties, where William & Mary, one of the least penalized teams, only had 2 for 10.
So those are the numbers that have impacted things at the first half. Tessa Peloso got the chance to chat with Mark Ferrante at halftime. We'll send it down to Tessa. What do you got?
I asked Coach Ferrante, Coach, how do you keep this momentum up and regain it going into the second half and limit these penalties? And he looked at me and just shook his head and said, these penalties, it really comes down to discipline. We got to do better on 3rd down. And when our defense is on the field, we have to make sure William & Mary is off the field. But they're definitely frustrated when it comes to those penalties. Guys.
Thanks so much, Tessa. We'll check in with you again throughout the course of the day. A 3-point lead for William & Mary at the break. Second half right around the corner here.
Thanks for getting these sub bowls.
Of course, no problem, big bro. Let's eat.
Danny DeVito? What did you do with our uncle?
Well, that doesn't matter. This is a commercial for Jersey Mike's. What matters most are these sub bowls.
Wait, has Danny DeVito been my brother my whole life?
I guess so. Don't tell Mom. Your favorite sub, hot or cold in a bowl. It's a Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
In moments of vulnerability, it's only human to seek warmth and expertise. Mainline Health is the place where both your health and humanity matter, where ultrasounds come with understanding, where tests are met with tenderness, where EKGs are as important as empathy, the place where you will never be your only advocate, the place for a lifetime of care delivered neighbor to neighbor. Mainline Health, where human care has a home.
When local kids go pro in Philly, it's a reflection of us all. Youth coaches, family, and the hometown health insurer who covers them. Independence Blue Cross has had Quinn and Kevin Sullivan's back since day one, because we take care of our own here.
Right here is where you make things. But the most important things you make here are memories. At Freedom, we understand what every part of your home means to you. That's why we take such a personal approach to helping veterans. So while there are lots of workshops, this one's different because it's a workshop in the garage of a home that's all yours. The home that Freedom helped you get.
From a simple fall to game-changing moments. When life gets heavy and you are pushed to your limits, Rothman Orthopedics is here so you can enjoy what matters most. With expert doctors, cutting-edge technology, and personalized care for every patient, we help you find your rhythm again. Your mobility, our mission. Rothman Orthopedics.
When local kids go pro in Philly, it's a reflection of us all. Youth coaches, family, and the hometown health insurer who covers them. Independence Blue Cross has had Quinn and Kevin Sullivan's back since day one, because we take care of our own here.
Mainline Health, we make sure that heart care is heartfelt. From murmurs to heart valve disease, we listen, we treat, we innovate. It's where your health is held alongside your humanity, where cutting-edge clinical trials meet compassion, with expertise ranging from preventive to pioneering. Because human care listens to your heartbeat and who it beats for. So if the rhythm of life changes, turn to the place where world-class isn't just nearby. It's where human care has a home.
Right here is where you make things. But the most important things you make here are memories. At Freedom, we understand what every part of your home means to you. That's why we take such a personal approach to helping veterans. So while there are lots of workshops, this one's different because it's a workshop in the garage of a home that's all yours. The home that Freedom helped you get.
Okay, fam. Quick stop in Montgomery County, but we have to be at Grandma's by 5 p.m.
Do we have time to stop at the mall?
KOP! Yes! Do we have time to hit the slopes?
Skiing at Spring Mountain.
Do we have time for Santa? If we have time for wildlife at the zoo!
Do we have time for food?
I have a list of 1,800 restaurants. Yum!
Do we have time for an overnight?
I feel like we're forgetting something.
When you spend the holidays in Montgomery County, your other plans can wait.
Honey, call them again.
From a simple fall to game-changing moments. When life gets heavy and you are pushed to your limits, Rothman Orthopedics is here so you can enjoy what matters most. With expert doctors, cutting-edge technology, and personalized care for every patient, we help you find your rhythm again. Your mobility, our mission. Rothman Orthopedics.
William & Mary leading at 17-14 at the half before the third quarter gets going. Let's check in once again downstairs with Tessa Peloso.
Guys, family weekend here. Sold out. The tailgate on the green was sold out. So it was a fun time getting family and alumni together, especially to watch Villanova football.
Yeah, thanks so much, Tessa. It has been jumping today leading up to kickoff, and the atmosphere building throughout the day, and they've been rewarded to a really good game here in the first half, Steve. One-score contest early on.
You see the crowd getting excited, looking for a Wildcat comeback here, as Ben mentioned, trailed by 3, but they'll get the ball to start the second half, and we'll hopefully put a drive together and get that lead back. That's
certainly what this crowd is looking for. There is, as well, we should mention, a decent crowd wearing green and gold on the far side over on the William & Mary bench. It is a long trip up from Southern Virginia, but they have certainly made it, and they've been making themselves heard as well. Of course, they're outnumbered a good 4 or 5 to 1.
And these teams who haven't met since 2022 will be playing every year now, as both teams will move to the Patriot League next season. So Patriot League will play 9 conference games, so they'll play every team in the league. So that'll be an annual meeting between William & Mary and Villanova.
They have followed each other throughout the years, these two sides. Yankee Conference, A10, CAA, and Patriot League. They've all been in together. This is the 38th all-time meeting between these two sides. Villanova looking for their first win over the Tribe since 2019, and they'll bring the ball out from the goal line to try to get a good start here in the second half, and they're getting a good one as Mace turns the corner, and when he's even, he is leaving. A kickoff return for a touchdown to start out the second half.
No flags. Jabril Mace is going to go 100 yards, and boy, when you talk about what this team needed, he ain't leaving.
Special teams, absolutely massive to start the second half, and in front of this great crowd who you got the sense, Steve, were waiting for a little jolt.
Yeah, and that's probably what they needed. You know, they're coming off a couple of tough weeks.
Ruling on the field's a touchdown. Sideline warning, Villanova. Try for point.
Wildcats will take that sideline warning.
Yeah,
Coach Frye don't want to see any more flags, but that's one he'll accept. It's not a flag, it's a warning. The second time it is a flag. But the Wildcats had a big answer here to open the second half with a 100-yard return. We'll see if it's 100 or 101. I think he took it right at the goal line. But a huge play, and Barnum with an important kick here to try to give the Wildcats a 4-point lead.
It'll go into the books as a 100-yard kick return. On the opening play of the second half, Villanova is up by 4. Just for those of you who are unsure, there is no force and effect in terms of yardage on those sideline warnings. It's the second time around where you lose yardage, so that's what the...
And here's a look at it. Right at the goal line, you see him. And right about here, there's the first move, make a guy miss, and then just all speed right here. And the kicker is never going to catch him. He made a valiant effort, but he's not going to be able to run down Jabril Mace.
Yeah, that's Sam Braidwood, the redshirt freshman, who is not into the game for his speed.
And you see a bunch of happy Wildcats congratulating Jabril Mace on the sideline. And sometimes in a game like this, Ben, we talk back and forth. What's going to be the difference? Sometimes it's a special teams play, and let's see if that is the difference today, as we still have a long way to go here in the second half. 14:48 to go. So I guess Jabril's 100 time is 12 seconds. He can run the 112 as soon as he touched it. Clock starts. When he hit the end zone, it stopped.
Yeah, that's a good way to time it up.
And he went an exact 100 yards.
Villanova scored with 4 minutes to go in the second quarter, but then that field goal for William & Mary to give them back the lead really took the air out of the crowd a little bit.
And now what's really important here is your defense. Come out. You just got this huge lift from your special teams unit. Come out here and get a stop.
It starts with the ensuing special teams play. Couple of William & Mary Tribe back there over towards their own goal line, looking for a response. One kick return unit seeing the other break one. And the Tribe will get out across the 25.
I think that's Jason Hall in on the tackle again. It's his second tackle on special teams today. Number 11, you see him coming off.
So that really changes the tone of Tyler Hughes. And this upcoming drive is all of a sudden it's William & Mary who has to go and chase the game now.
Yeah, not that this had anything to do with what just happened, but William & Mary won the toss, took the ball in the first half, and so they, instead of deferring where they would have had the kickoff, Villanova obviously gets the second half kickoff, and Jabril Mace goes 100 yards to give them a 21-17 lead.
The third quarter has been by far the best for William & Mary this year. They're outscoring opponents 48 to now 27, including that Villanova score in the third quarter alone.
So the Wildcats I'm sure talked about that at halftime. They got to come out with a high level of energy. Now we got a Wildcat down on their defensive lineman.
Speaking of injuries, Steve, some confirmation, unfortunate
Officials
confirmation
timeout for an injured player
for Villanova on the offensive side of things in terms of the injuries.
Yeah, Braden Reed will be out for the rest of the game with an upper body injury. So that's a huge loss in the slot. Probably didn't expect him to come back after we saw him leave the field. But hopefully he's okay for next week as Wildcats will travel up to New Hampshire. Trying to get a look at that number. Looks like one of the defensive linemen. If that's, I don't want to speculate. I'll wait till we can see a number.
Yeah, it's tough, right? Lying on his back.
It's going to be Abina Wobodo, I believe, 98.
It's the graduate student from Wilmington, Delaware. Good to see him back up on his feet.
He might have got rolled over on. You never know. Those kind of stretch plays as a big interior lineman heading off. But fortunately, he's walking off under his own power.
Talk about how good Villanova has been here at home over the last couple of years. They're on the road for a good little while, 2 straight games away from home. They're not here again until the 18th of October against Hampton, but they end 4 of 5 here at home.
Well, the stretch now has been 2 on the road. They're home here today and 2 more on the road. So 4 out of 5 weeks on the road. Talked to Coach Ferranti about that in the pregame today, and he said that just means we have a lot of home games at the end of the year, but you got to fight your way through that streak and try to find a way to get some road wins. Let's start with a home win here today.
Looking for 18 in a row here at Villanova Stadium. Hughes, designed run towards the right. Now he'll make a cut, trying to spin away from the Nova defense. He'll get maybe 1 or 2 to set up 3rd down and medium.
I think it was Ivan Murray with the first guy with contact. So this is a big 3rd down here. It's going to be 3rd and almost 5. Kind of a designed run there for Hughes.
This is not a William and Mary team that is designed to hold on to the ball for long, grueling 8.5-minute drives.
Yeah, they've just hit Villanova with some basic go routes using their size, their athleticism of their receivers to try to go over the smaller Villanova defensive backs.
Only average about 28.5 minutes per game of possession. They're content to just wait and then hit on those big, long opportunities where they're looking again. There was a little bit of contact.
And they sent the safety blitz that time. So Ross Pennypacker, I think, has decided we're not going to let Hughes just sit back there and throw the football without any pressure. Sapp came, a good job by, I think that was Bostic in coverage, 36.
Against Joseph Johnson. Get a look at the hand fighting between the two.
And that's a good no call. That's just football right there. Bostic with good, no separation by the receiver, Johnson. So it's a good job by Bostic. And the Wildcats do get the stop. And it'll be Tanner Maddox back to return.
What a first 85 seconds of this 3rd quarter for Villanova. You get a kick return for a touchdown and then a 3 and out. And Tanner Maddox will make a fair catch at his own 31.
So decent field position here for the Wildcats. We talked about all game long. Can someone get a 2-score lead? And here's the Wildcats with this opportunity if they can put one in the end zone to take a 28-17 lead.
Neither team has had a 2-score lead the entirety of the contest. Pat McQuaid certainly didn't think that the next time he jog out onto the field, it would be with the lead.
Yeah, I thought he was hoping to get good field position, maybe outside the 30 where he is at the 31. But now he's got a 4-point lead. And Ovid will be the starting tailback.
McQuaid through the first half, 9 for 19, 142 yards through the air. Ovid with 58 yards on the ground and the 2 scores.
Now if you're that Villanova offense, got your special teams, gave you a home run, your defense got you a stop. Now it's your turn to put a drive together.
Ovid going to get the call on 1st down. Jitterbugs around one defender. Pushes off a second. The speed and the physicality for Ovid on full display. And a gain of 15.
Yeah, give him 15 on 1st down. Good job up front by Fay and McCullers on that side. And really a good job of running by Ovid. He bounced that outside after he saw initial contact. Then broke some tackles to finish this off with a 15-yard gain. Right there. Good bounce out there. And run through the tackle right there. Pick up some extra yardage.
They'll spot it at the 45, so call it 14 officially more for Abbott.
Right through Jaden Ratliff.
Villanova on the move again. Right back to Ovid again, trying to bounce it out towards the left. He's got a little bit of room to operate and a gain of about 4. Good pursuit from William and Mary.
Yeah, they stretched that out pretty well, but Ovid showed he did a lot of work on his speed in the offseason, running a lot of hills. Was able to bounce it outside and get 4 on 1st down, which is a positive play.
The penalties really prohibited Villanova from staying ahead of the sticks on offense. A lot of those penalties came on defense as well that were critical, but when you get those offensive penalties to back you up, it puts you off schedule. So far, so good in that department for the Wildcats here in the 2nd half. McQuaid still yet to attempt a pass here in the third quarter. Again, he'll give it up, and again, Abbott going to make him pay. Flag flies, though.
That's a late flag by the lineman. So we'll see if this is an illegal formation or someone's in the neutral zone. They're going to call holding. So another big penalty against Villanova. This could be out on the wide receiver. Let's see. I see Colella there. It was called by the line judge. You don't usually...
Holding. Number 85. Offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Second down.
Going to be tight end Nolan Clayton. Usually when you get out wide like that, let's see if we get a replay and look. But unfortunately, that takes away a first down from Villanova. Another nice run by Ovid. Clayton playing Antonio Johnson out today. So Clayton getting the majority of the snaps at tight end.
Boy, that is as quick of a commentator's curse as you'll get. Wonderful. Hear that from Mark Ferrante next week. Talking about how Villanova's been able to stay ahead of the stick so far in the third quarter. The very next play, they get backed up on the holding. So McQuaid going to have to go to the air. He goes short for Ovid underneath, and Ovid will do the rest. Gets back across midfield, set up third and reasonable.
Yeah, it's going to be third and about 3 on the William Mary half of the field here. So if you want, Coach Ferrante gambled on 4th and 2. Actually going to get him out to the 48. So yeah, 3rd and 3 here. You could think 2 downs or hopefully 1 down with Abbott converting.
So we'll see if they go right back to the well again for the sophomore from Frederick, Maryland, David Ovid. 3 out in the pattern if McQuaid is going to go to the air himself.
Might be changing the play because he checks in with his line. Coach Ferrante's going to take a timeout here.
Play clock was winding all the way down. Pat McQuaid
First charge
saw something he didn't like.
Villanova. It'll be 30 seconds.
So credit William and Mary there, showing something that McQuaid just wasn't comfortable with, and Coach Ferrante quick to take the timeout, not to lose the 5 yards there.
Speaking of the great crowd, by the way, that we talked to Tessa about at halftime, official number coming in 6,493 in attendance today for this one. And really they've certainly made themselves known.
Yeah, really good turnout here on family weekend.
So what do you do here on 3rd down and 3? It's been all of it here on this drive.
And I think it ain't broke, don't fix it. He's been really good at finding a way to make positive yardage.
This game changing on its head.
I would not be surprised if he could pick up 2 even. I think they might go for it on 4th down at the 45. Coach Ferrante's shown that he already would do that earlier in the second quarter. Or you could see that RPO. McQuaid, not much of a runner, but he did have a big run against Colgate on a similar situation. On 4th and 1, he kept it and picked up a touchdown run.
William and Mary trying to get off the field. Back it goes to Ovid. He's got some room to work with 1st down and a bunch more down towards the 35.
And you see how he finishes that run there, too. Contact made it about the 39. He carries a couple of defenders with him all the way down to the 36, so no need to worry about a 4th down decision when you have a running back like David Ovid.
Comfortable on 3rd down and short.
Officials timeout for an injured player.
Another defensive player for William and Mary is down right at the 30-yard line, so they'll take a look at that. I don't know if Ben, did you make out a number? I couldn't see it there.
Not quite. Yeah. Hopefully we're able to tell soon enough, and it looks like that is Jaden Ratliff.
Yeah, it looks like they're working on his right ankle.
Redshirt freshman out of Norfolk, Virginia. We've already seen Jalen Jones in the secondary go down, and Ethan Yip. So it's starting to get a little thin in the back.
Yeah, that's a 3rd defensive back who's dealt with something. They're working on his lower leg.
This game changing on the first play of the second half on a 100-yard kick return by Jabril Mace. The first kickoff return for a touchdown by Villanova since 2019. That was also for 100 yards. That was Nawula Awapitu against Richmond. Yeah, the 6th kickoff return for 100 or more yards in school history.
And just it couldn't have come at a more opportune time when, not that the game was anywhere in question. You still had a whole half to play in a 3-point game. But the fact that he could just give your team a spark like that, which just ignited a fire on their defense who got to stop, and now the offense is trying to put a drive together here. They're down in the inside William Mary territory. They're going to try to finish this drive and hopefully come away with some more points.
And hopefully you see, Ratliff comes back soon.
Ratliff coming off, but he's getting some help, not walking on his own.
No.
Looks like it might have been his ankle they were working on, so maybe they can get that retaped and get him back out there. It doesn't look like he's walking very well right now, though.
Well, we were talking about with Jones when he went down. His backup, Trevor Cannon, a freshman, player listed behind Ratliff is David Ruley, who is a senior, so he's got a little bit more experience behind him.
Yeah, he's been with the program now for 4 years. And credit the Villanova offensive line in this drive so far. They've won the battle up front here, to being able to move some of these defensive linemen out of position to give Abbott some running lanes, and now Abbott will get a well-deserved break, and he'll go to Ragland here.
And Ruley, the Virginia Beach native, is into the game in place of Ratliff, wearing number 10 over on the right side of your screen.
Still trying to get off the field. This is taking a little longer than we thought. You see way up the top of your screen at the 35, just getting off the field now. But very gingerly for him.
Yeah, that's certainly not a good sign for the redshirt freshman. Ratliff back to work for Pat McQuaid. 1st and 10 on the 36 officially of William and Mary. And again, back to the ground. Ragland trying to change directions, getting there in a hurry, though. To cut that down was Jordan McDonald.
Yeah, he's playing from his outside line. He plays in a 2-point stance. He came off the edge. Probably a guy you don't block on that play. He comes unblocked, and he's quick enough to make the play down the line.
The former Virginia Tech Hokie spent 4 years in Blacksburg and appeared in 32 games.
And that's a big play because that puts you now at 2nd and 11. Get you behind the sticks. Let's see what McQuaid can do here on 2nd and 11.
And in motion is Nolan Clayton. Again, Ragland this time has a seam along the left. He shirks his first defender and has another first down.
Yeah, they had a run blitz design there, and a great job by Clayton. He picked up the blitzer, and Ragland ran right in behind that hole for a big gainer and a first down. You see him coming there, 85 right, and it blows up the play, and then Ragland right in behind him. They had a run blitz called, but the good motion by the tight end Clayton and a good block by Clayton to spring Ragland.
Bo Revel and Rasai Dowling, the two co-defensive coordinators, trying to throw a couple different looks at this Villanova side.
Yeah, it had the right call, but Villanova had the right call in terms of, and Clayton executed that block as he came in motion as the lead blocker.
Just outside the red zone again. It's been all on the ground. McQuaid now looking for the air. Wasn't on the same page that time.
Yeah, that was a keeper. It was well read. He just kind of fired it away over the head of Binkowski. Good decision by McQuaid not to take the loss.
And McQuaid is
he's been dealing
not
with
looking comfortable.
He's been dealing with a bum ankle that he hurt in that Penn State game. And Tanner Maddox is banged up as well. So the quarterback position is a little bit iffy, and hopefully McQuaid can continue. But I don't think we're going to see a lot of RPO out of him in the second half.
And that also poses the challenge for the offensive line for Villanova to keep McQuaid on his feet. Another double reverse, this time for Mace again, trying to use that speed. William and Mary read it exceptionally well. Guess who? Yet again, McDonald.
Yeah, he just blew up the quarterback, McQuaid, who's the lead blocker on this play. And they get Mace for a loss, and now it's going to be 3rd down and a bunch.
2 tackles for loss for Jordan McDonald in quick succession.
That play looked promising, but you got to credit McDonald for just blowing up the quarterback. It looks like there's a lot of room around this edge, but they got to get him blocked, and he's not going to allow it.
Using the physicality was McDonald, 6'4", 225. Great get in the portal as well from a big program at Virginia Tech, in-state program too. McQuaid looking long. Yet again, looking over the middle, just out of the reach of Raleigh Stevens.
Yeah, Stevens, who's in for Reed. I don't know, we'll take another look at this. I don't know if this is a ball he should catch or it's just a little bit out in front of him. Now Wildcats can try a long field goal. But would have been a first down if Stevens is able to come up with it. Good time, credit the offensive line. That's a ball Stevens has to catch. Hits him right in the hands. That's 2 drops for him today.
Would have been the 6th different Villanova receiver with a catch today, but instead it sets up a 42, officially 43-yard field goal, we'll call it.
This would be Barnum's longest as a Wildcat. He's able to find the uprights.
He's 0 for 1 today after an exceptionally long attempt to end the first half. This one from a bit more reasonable range. It has the distance, and it's good.
So Jack Barnum connects and gives the Wildcats a 7-point lead.
On the field.
So a special teams home run, a stop by the defense, and points put up by the offense. So a great start here to Villanova in the 3rd quarter.
They're outscoring the Tribe 10-0 in the 3rd frame. Tribe looking to respond. 24-17 lead for Villanova, the number 20 team in the nation, trying to hold serve at home here against a William & Mary Tribe that has stuck right with them step for step here in the third quarter. Ben Curtis, Steve Pannone, Tessa Peloso here with you on a Saturday afternoon. All the pomp and circumstance of family weekend, the final weekend of the month of September, and over 6,000 in attendance, being entertained by a really good ball game between two CAA sides that are going to battle all year long. William & Mary returning home for 3 of their next 4, NC-A&T, Elon, and Albany at home, with a trip to New Hampshire in between. As we mentioned, Villanova putting a lot of miles on the odometer as of late on the road. End over end kick.
Short and returnable.
And it certainly is. Out past the 15, out past the 25. Little spin put on by Jordan Whitelaw.
And Wildcats did a good job on coverage today. I think that's the furthest starting point
26 for William & Mary. Must sit out one play to his helmet coming off.
His helmet knocked off. Good job by the Wildcats on coverage. That was Javont Williams down there, I think, at the bottom of the pile. Moody as well, Caleb Moody, and a couple of D-backs. And they'll take it out to the 26. So good job once again by the coverage unit.
Just about all of the William & Mary drives, save for one, have started in between the 25 and the 30. Yeah. They had that one that started all the way backed up on their own 9.
Yeah, we mentioned Barnum's longest field as a Wildcat. He has made 12 in his career from 40-plus yards at previous stops at Albany and Central Connecticut.
So he certainly knew that he had the distance in the leg, as Hughes going to pull it down and run himself. He lowers the shoulder and finishes falling forward.
Yeah, he's going to get about 7 or so on first down. Maybe, I think it's 6 or 7. But they got kind of that RPO we talked about, run pass option. We're really at the triple threat. There was no back there you could pitch it to. But he just rolls out there, good coverage, so he decides to tuck it and run. Picks up about 7 on first down.
Hughes remains the leading rusher for William & Mary, and they follow that up, keeping the ball on the ground for a first down. That's a good quick first down for the Tribe.
And then they're able to they're going to try to go a little quicker here. They're not huddling, getting right up over the ball, trying to wear this Villanova defense down.
This Tribe offense has not been on the field for that much of the third quarter, trying to make the most of their opportunities. Raymond looking to change direction, gobbled up by the middle of the Villanova defense.
Good job by Howard to hold his spot, and then Kimmel came across the edge and was able to wrap him up and get him down. Give maybe a 1 or 2 yard gain. Good job there by Howard, 91. And Kimmel came and finished. See right here, he's trying to get outside. Howard does a good job right there, just gets enough of him, and there comes Kimmel from the backside.
What does Hughes have on 2nd down and 8? Yardage is just about even, 285 to 249 in favor of Villanova. Hughes again able to spin away from his first defender. Hartzell came back to cover.
A good job by Hartzell there. He got kind of juked out a little bit, was able to come back and make the play and hold him short of the first down to bring up an all-important 3rd down and about 4. So credit Hartzell on the tackle.
Certainly did not give up on it. Shane Hartzell, the senior from PA, one of the leaders of this Villanova defense.
It's been a good matchup all day. Hughes, his elusivity at quarterback, trying to get run down by Hartzell. Let's see if Ross Pennypacker comes with some blitz here. 3rd and 4.
After a great start on 3rd down, William & Mary's cooled off a bit in that department. They're now 5 for 9. Hughes again looking over the middle. This time he's got his man. Took a big hit, but able to hold on was Devin Thompson.
Yeah, that was Dawu with the hit, but after the first down had already been recorded. So a good job by Thompson to hold on to the football. Just a little slant. Comes in right in your picture. Good throw, a little behind him, and then pop. Dawood hits him hard, but he's able to hold on to the ball.
The Tribe nearing midfield again. Hughes will pull it down and take it himself to get across midfield and into Nova territory.
Yeah, there's the true RPO, and he picks up 4 on first down. Good job by the Villanova defense. He pulled it back out of the belly of the running back and kept it. And they once again go no huddle here as they try to wear on this Villanova defense.
4 plays of 15 or more through the air for William & Mary, but they keep it on the ground, and another good gain of 10. That's Raymond again, and now they're starting to get runs in bunches.
This is the line judge just wait. He was about a half a yard short, and they just waved the first down because they don't want to measure and take time off. And we saw it with Abbott. Ragland got the benefit of one of those earlier in the game, so it's 1 up in terms of that.
Yeah, they all work out in the wash in the end. Hughes will again take it himself, and right there to meet him was Aiden Howard.
Yeah, so that's going to be for no gain. Now let's see if the Wildcats here on 2nd down can get don't give up a chunk play here, 5-6 yards, and make it easy for them on 3rd down. Try to make it, 3rd and 8, make them one-dimensional. We just got to defend the pass. Once again, he tried to keep it, and Howard's there for it.
Tribe are 1 for 2 on 3rd and 9 or more.
Once again,
Cats trying to set up that.
Yeah, no turnovers so far in this game. As we talk about, William Mary's done a really good job of that all year.
Hughes again has all day to look downfield. Now the pocket starts to collapse. He rolls out and will throw it away.
Good job by the Villanova secondary there with good coverage downfield. But once again, they were able to get Hughes off his spot. Don't let him sit in the pocket. Make him roll. He rolled right there where he's more effective than going left. But once you get him off his spot, he's probably not going to be as accurate with the football.
The first 3rd down play of the day for William and Mary was a 3rd and 11, and the Tribe completed a 26-yard reception to Isaiah Lemond.
Yeah, they've hit a couple of big plays on 3rd and long. Now it's Villanova's opportunity here to try to get a stop.
And if they do, then Mike London will have a decision to make.
Probably, I would guess he would punt and try to pin them down inside the 10, but we'll see. We'll see what happens here on 3rd down.
See if they get some of it back and force London into making
There's
a
a
decision.
holding.
Pocket starts to collapse. Hughes trying to stay on his feet. He goes down.
I thought the officials missed a hold there off the edge, but it won't matter as the sack on 4th down will take the decision away from Mike London as he'll have to punt the football. Hartzell getting up last, it looks like, as he's done a good job spying Hughes all day. Hughes is no easy guy to get to the ground either. Big, strong lower body as well. You know, he goes at 200 pounds and only 6 feet tall, so he's pretty compact. Capri Martin with a good flush him out of the pocket there. And there's Hartzell at the bottom of the pile, just not letting go.
First sack of the year, if you can believe it, for Shane Hartzell.
Yeah, Maddox back at his own 10 on 4th and 17.
Again, another high kick, a lot of hang time underneath this, and Maddox will make the fair catch at the 15, and now flag is going to fly back behind the play. What can this be for?
Where do you see that? I don't even see the flag. Oh, there it is up at the 30-yard line.
Anthony Hawkins was down.
Yeah, let's see if this would be a big call either way. Either put Villanova back, or if they can pick up 15 yards, that'd really help. Unfortunately, I see the official with the walking backwards. Football at the 15. Let's see.
This is a tone setter to start a very important drive here late in the 3rd quarter as the Wildcats look to go up by 2 scores.
Referee taking his time to make a call here.
During the kick, holding number 27 kicking team. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. First down.
The Wildcats will pick up 10 yards here.
Time on the field.
So they will start at their own 25, looking to put a little bit of distance between themselves and the William and Mary Tribe here on the main line.
When local kids go pro in Philly, it's a reflection of us all. Youth coaches, family, and the hometown health insurer who covers them. Independence Blue Cross has had Quinn and Kevin Sullivan's back since day one, because we take care of our own here.
At Mainline Health, we make sure that heart care is heartfelt. From murmurs to heart valve disease, we listen, we treat, we innovate. It's where your health is held alongside your humanity, where cutting-edge clinical trials meet compassion, with expertise ranging from preventive to pioneering. Because human care listens to your heartbeat and who it beats for. So if the rhythm of life changes, turn to the place where world-class isn't just nearby. It's where human care has a home.
Right here is where you make things. But the most important things you make here are memories. At Freedom, we understand what every part of your home means to you. That's why we take such a personal approach to helping veterans. So while there are lots of workshops, this one's different because it's a workshop in the garage of a home that's all yours. The home that Freedom helped you get.
When local kids go pro in Philly, it's a reflection of us all. Youth coaches, family, and the hometown health insurer who covers them. Independence Blue Cross has had Quinn and Kevin Sullivan's back since day one, because we take care of our own here.
Important defensive stop for Villanova. Aiden Howard was at the center of all of it. Tessa Peloso, you had the chance to catch up with Howard earlier on in the week.
When I caught up with Aiden this week, I asked him, how much does this guy's how much does this fuel you guys coming back home, playing on your home turf? And he says, it means everything to us. We take a lot of pride in protecting our home field. He said, I've been here 6 years, and it's been quite a long time since we lost at home. And after every practice, we protect that V. We remind ourselves to protect it every time. This is our home, and it means everything to us, no matter what. So if someone tries to come in and disrespect the V, we're going to stand 10 toes down and defend it to the best of our ability. We know we are in front of our home crowd, no matter how small or large. We always bring that extra energy, and we know we're tough. Guys.
First down.
Thanks so much, Tessa. Great stuff as per usual. The last time that Villanova lost at home, you have to go all the way back to September of 2022 against Monmouth, team who just beat them last week as the first play of the ensuing drive. A holding will bring it back, and the penalties continue to rear their heads.
Ragland with a big run, and McCullers with the hold, so they'll lose those 10 yards. Let's see if 76 right there on number 4. I think that's what happens when you're too big and too strong. You just knock the guy over and they call holding on you. I don't like that call, to be quite honest with you. That's physical football.
That's Banbury, the defensive star, who is on the other side of it. So the Wildcats backed up here. First down and 20 as McQuaid goes back to work. 10 for 22, 153 yards on the ground again with Ragland again into the second level past the original line of scrimmage.
That's the old adage, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They run the same play again. And this time Ragland picks up about 11 or 12 to get them back into second and manageable.
Ovid obviously going to get all the headlines in terms of the ground game, but Ragland a really important complementary piece. He's got 42 yards on the ground.
Yeah, remember, Ragland was having a really good season last year. Got the high ankle sprain, which slowed him up, and that's really where Ovid came on and really took over. But that two-headed monster in the backfield is going to be key for this team the rest of the way.
And they go in a little bit of different ways. Ovid perhaps a little bit more of a downhill runner as Ragland can bounce it out to the outside as he does so now. He rallied to the football in a gain of just about 2. Jaden Boring was right there.
Yeah, so this will bring up third down and long. This will be a big conversion here if the Wildcats can keep this drive going.
That was really good stick-to-itiveness by Boring.
Yeah, you don't want to give the ball back to William & Mary after just 3 plays. Get your defense some rest. Let's see if they can convert something here, and it starts up front with protection.
Jaden Boring, ironically, one of the more exciting players on this William & Mary side.
He went out earlier in the game when he got nicked up a little bit, so it's good to see him back in.
For sure. 20 tackles coming into play today, a sophomore from Virginia. Mike London's done a great job of keeping those Virginia players home as McQuaid feels some pressure, gets rid of it in time, and it is complete. Colella through 2 defenders.
Yeah, what a grab by Colella. He knew he was going to take a shot. He was able to kind of pull his body down and get into like almost a fetal position to take that hit, but more importantly, he was able to hold on to the football in a huge third down conversion. See him get stretched out and kind of collapse his body with a huge catch.
A 14-yard pitch and catch to keep the Villanova drive alive. And Pat McQuaid will be able to keep things moving at the 41. Again, Ragland will get the call. Ragland trying to be patient, waiting for the space.
There. Never could find a hole, and eventually the William & Mary players get off their blocks and held into a 1-yard gain. And the Wildcats do not need to snap the ball here at the end of the third quarter. Play clock is off. Under 20 seconds to go here, but it looks like they may look to get a play off. Kind of stay with their rhythm here at 2nd and 9.
Looking to get this Tribe defense on their heels. McQuaid also might be looking to see them jump offside.
They're going to let the quarter end.
We have played 3 of the 4, and 15 more minutes will be on the clock in a really good one.
At the end of the third quarter.
A 24-17 lead for the number 20 team in the nation, looking to stay perfect at home yet again in 2025. Villanova with a 7-point lead in the third quarter alone. Villanova outgained the William & Mary Tribe by 50 yards, and they've got the statistical lead and the lead on the scoreboard after 3.
Yeah, really the only thing that holding Villanova back is those 10 penalties for 94 yards. You take those, say half of those away, and you add another 40 or 50 yards to that offense, and you really would see some separation here. With Wildcats trying to put another drive together here. It looks like it's going to be 2nd down and 9. And obviously any points here would make this a 2-score game as we enter the 4th quarter.
A really, really critical drive here for Pat McQuaid in this Villanova offense. As Mike London's defense trying to hold strong and give Tyler Hughes another opportunity. The Tribe held off the board in the 3rd quarter entirely, a 10-0 margin in the 3rd. It goes toward the left for Mace. He doesn't have any room to work with, and it will be 3rd down and very long.
Tried to go wide with Mace. We talked about his speed, and you saw it on the kickoff, but he's going to lose about 2, and it's going to be 3rd down and 11, so the Wildcats are going to have to convert another 3rd and long.
Villanova has 2 completions of 3rd and 9 or longer. That's Banbury again closing down the speeds of Mace.
He just took a great angle as well from his middle linebacker position to run him down sideline to sideline. That's what you look for. Kind of reminds me of the current linebacker coach here at Villanova, Forrest Ryan, did that for Villanova for so many years.
Shot out of a cannon was Banbury, the graduate student transfer from Cornell. 3rd down and 11. McQuaid with a healthy pocket pitch and catch for a strike. That is Riley Stevens. Had a big drop earlier on. This time he squeezes it.
You love to see that from the young player, Stevens, who had a drop earlier, as Ben mentioned, but the confidence in McQuaid to go back to him. He does a good job of sitting down and making a play, and that's got to lift his confidence. He had a big catch against Penn State, but this one's really big because it's a 1st down and a big part of the game. So credit Stevens with a huge catch there.
When it's all said and done, that might be one of the bigger plays of the day. Put a star next to that 3rd down and 11 completion.
And the Wildcats have converted a couple of long 3rd downs. The Colella catch that put him over 1,500 yards for his career, and that one by Stevens.
Back to the ground game again. Room for Mace to utilize that speed. Nearly got past David Ruley. That's the backup safety who came in for Ratliff to make a huge open field tackle.
Ruley saved the touchdown there. We talked about Mace's speed.
For an injured player.
And credit Chris Bowden for getting him out in space. We saw him on the kickoff return. Obviously, that's special teams. We do have a player down. I'll finish my thought, but I want to make sure we get to the player that's down. That looks like number 3. I think that's Gerald Williams for William & Mary. And then I'll finish my thought on Mace. You see him there. Give him in space, get him some gaps. He's not a kind of guy that's going to do a lot in between the tackles because of his size. But if you can get him out on the edge, he can make that first guy miss, and then he can pick up big yards like he did there.
Should give proper due, though, to David Ruley as well for a huge open field tackle, a backup who had to come into the game when Jane Ratliff went down with an injury. And if he doesn't make that play, there's a lot of green turf behind him.
And I don't think we talked about it already earlier. No one's going to catch him from behind. So unless you have an angle on him, you're probably not going to get him.
But a big, big chunk play for Jabril Mace, a gain of 17.
Yeah, and credit Coach Fletcher, the running backs coach. He's finding a way. Abbott's been really good. He's using Ragland and then sprinkling in some Mace as well. Kind of hit him with some of the bigger guys and then try to wear him down a little bit and then go with the speed guy. And that was Mace on that play. They're going to give him another carry here. It looks like he's going to be out there. I don't know if he'll get a carry, but he'll be out here with McQuaid.
Sean Devine's offensive line has provided some big gaps as well for the running backs of Villanova.
We talked about this. We're probably going to be a game in the trenches. Who could win the line of scrimmage? William & Mary kind of known for their size and physicality up front. It's been so far so good. Villanova's been able to match that.
So right now in fringe field goal range, having to make sure the operation is all clean. Can't take penalties in these kinds of situations. Mace is still on his feet. And keeping the legs churning inside the 25.
I've been talking about his speed all there. He shows a little power. He makes a couple of yards after contact, just finishing runs. And that's a good job by Jabril Mace. And they'll come back with Ovid.
That's a 5'9", 175-pound running back using a little bit of grunt to go along with the speed.
He picks up almost 5. We call it 2nd down and 6. Ovid back in. Binkowski down low here, so the Wildcats go 3 wide receivers.
Keep an eye on Colella, top of your screen as well. He's having a good day. 5 catches for 78 yards. They're looking over the middle, nearly reined in by Binkowski.
Yeah, that one's just McQuaid probably wants that one back, just a little bit out of his body. He had good position. If that's in at his chest, he's probably able to bring that down. Now 3rd and 6 here. And as you mentioned, kind of a fringe field goal range here at the 26-yard line. It'll be another 43-yarder.
Worth mentioning, by the way, with that Stevens catch, as now the 7th different Villanova player to have a reception today. That continues a streak of 7 players or more with a catch in every game for Villanova.
See if the Wildcats can convert another 3rd down here. How many times can you go to the well? Let's see if they have one more in them.
Again, time for McQuaid. Now the time runs out, but he finds Stevens again. He's going to be short.
So it's going to be 4th down and 2. I think,
boy.
You know, I'd love, you know, in the NFL, I think there's any question, you come out and kick a field goal and you go up 2 scores, but it looks like the Wildcats aren't going to do that, at least right away. It looks like they're going to keep the offense out there on 4th and 2.
So you want to be a football head coach. These are the kinds of decisions you have to make.
Still a lot of time left to play here with 12 minutes to go. So I think Coach Friday's feeling they're going to be plenty of possessions. I'd like to get a 14-point lead as opposed to a 10-point lead.
Yeah, if there's 5 minutes instead of 12, maybe this is a different conversation. Crowd starting to get into it again. They will snap the ball. McQuaid looking over the middle. He's got Colella.
And that's not the super high percentage play. That's a deep crossing route. Can make it 1st and goal at the 10. Confidence between the quarterback and the receiver. And that's a good catch by Colella. He's going to have to extend his arms on this play and come down and pull it in. We don't see it there on that replay, but a really nice grab by Colella. I thought they were going to go to Abbott there. He's been your workhorse all day. Chris Bowden switches it up, goes to the pass, and sets him up at 1st and goal.
6 catches, 88 yards for Luke Colella. Another day at the office for the grad transfer. They'll go right back for Avett. Avett lower in the shoulder, trying to shake his defender. He's still on his feet inside the 5.
Yeah, good finishing runs by these Wildcat running backs. They're going to pick up 7 on 1st down. Now you got it 2nd and goal from the 3. You have to assume you got 3 chances here to punch it in to try to take a 14-point lead.
Avett already had 3 touchdowns last game. He's got 2 already today, looking for another hat trick. Kopecki will be the receiver out wide, but they'll start to pack it in for the sophomore running back.
Yeah. Clayton and Colella in tight on the right-hand side with 2 tight ends.
Avett again trying to burst his way into the end zone. He is in for a score.
Good second effort from the running back. Avett got hit at about the 1, kept the legs driving, and that's a huge drive by the Wildcats. Multiple 3rd down conversions, a 4th down conversion, and now a touchdown to end it off.
And for the first time today, this game's margin is more than just the 1 score.
Look
Here
at the,
you see the yard after contact.
Yeah, just a spin and then extend the ball over the plane. As a good look by our crew down on the goal line. Shows Avett getting in for his 3rd touchdown today.
75-yard march down the field that ate up a lot of time. Handful of 3rd down conversions as well, as the lead is up to 14.
Well, a really good answer so far here in the second half as the Wildcats have come out with 17 unanswered.
A couple of 3rd down conversions, and David Avett is able to punch it in, and the Wildcats lead by 14. How does Tyler Hughes respond? Another day at the office for David Ovid, another 3-touchdown day. He had to work extra hard for that final of the third one, a couple yards after contact for the score.
And the spin and then the extension of the ball over the plane for his third touchdown. That's back-to-back games with 3 touchdowns, also back-to-back games with 100 yards. He the last running back to do that was him last year. So he's been putting up some big numbers since he arrived on the main line. And they're going to use him heavily here if they can get the ball back with 10-18 to go in this 14-point lead. You know they're going to want to run the football.
You might be wondering, hey, when was the last time that a running back had 4 touchdowns in a game for Villanova? I'll give you one guess who it was.
I think we all know who that name is.
It was Abbott a year ago against Stony Brook. Just putting up all sorts of records. By the time his time is going to be done on the main line, his name is going to be littered across the Villanova record books.
Yeah, if it wasn't for a guy named Brian Westbrook, we'd be reading a whole lot about David Ovid in the years after he leaves the main line.
Even to have his name in the same sentence is kind of a testament to the start to the career that he's having. Still just a sophomore. That's the scary thought for the rest of the conference.
And 2 Maryland products. Westbrook was at a DeMatha High School product as well. So 2 guys out of Maryland coming up to the main line and putting up big numbers.
So this is a really important drive for Tyler Hughes. Now, Tribe can ill afford to give the ball back to Villanova with the way that this offense is going.
And there's Hartzell again on a tackle. I've talked about, he's kind of missed his buddy Brendan Bell this year, but him has found a way. He's got Kimmel back. He was missing both of his sidekicks early in the season. Now he's gotten Kimmel back, and he's done a good job. And if the Wildcats can get a stop here, they can really make William & Mary one-dimensional. No, they're going to have to start throwing the football. But still 9:55 to go here, so still plenty of time.
Coming into play today, Steve, the Tribe were outscoring opponents in the second half, 64-32.
Yeah, you mentioned how third quarter was their quarter. They got outscored, well, I guess it was 10-0 because that last touchdown came in the fourth.
Yeah, it's 17-0 in the second half. More contact, and referees.
That's got to be offensive pass interference.
No.
If you're going to call it on Colella in the first half, he just turned and threw the defensive back down on the ground, and the officials missed it.
That's Dawood pleading his case.
And you have to call that. I know it's not a big play in the game. That's a 15-yard penalty. Look at him. He's got 2 arms around him and throws him to the ground.
Potential interception is what Dawood is saying.
Yeah, you're looking at 2nd and 23 instead of 3rd and 7.
And now Dawood is down, Dad. Insult to injury, quite literally.
Might be cramping up because he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage and then went down.
Timeout. Villanova for an injured player.
And he's grabbing the back of his left calf.
Their second of the half.
That is also going to tag Villanova with a timeout. I believe because he went down after the fact.
But Villanova had already taken the timeout, so that would put them down at 1. We'll see if the ball was already if the ball's placed. Then they use a timeout. Let's see.
Yeah, you heard the announcement that it was their second of the half.
Okay, so that will cost them a timeout.
I believe those are relatively new rules.
Yeah, to basically stop people from faking injuries. This is not that case, but the rule is the rule.
Yeah.
And then, he just cramped up. But so if you're injured before they put the ball in play, they don't charge you a timeout.
Don't hate the rule because we have seen an increase over the last couple of years of that happening, of players going down to try to stop the clock.
But my only thing is now you just go down earlier.
Yeah.
So you just got if Dawood had gone down when he got thrown down by the wide receiver, they wouldn't have charged him a timeout. Obviously, he didn't get the cramp until he came back in.
If it's up to me, and it's probably a good thing that it's not in college football in general, but would love to give the referees a little bit of discretion to see what is genuine and what makes sense in the context of everything else going on. It seems like a relatively arbitrary rule.
Mark Ferrani's pleading his case here. I think he's probably more pleading the case about the pass interference than anything. Just pulled him down, and then Colella, you want to call his free hand push off. You have to call that when you take 2 hands around a defender and throw him to the ground.
Yeah, that potentially cost Villanova 3 points at the end of the first half, if you remember, right on the goal line.
And now you're looking at 2nd down and a ton. And just watch the receiver. He's going to put 2 hands around his shoulder up there and just pull him to the ground. And he lets up. I didn't do anything. But after he threw him to the ground. And you see Dawood, he's like, where's the call?
So an important 3rd down here for Hughes. Flush down to the pocket. He'll pull it down and keep it himself. He's got the 1st down and more out past the 40.
Yeah, you just see his speed there and his ability in the open field to make guys miss. So there's my point, though. It would have been the second and a whole bunch.
For William & Mary must set out 1 play to his helmet coming off.
And now, it's 2nd and 7. He can convert pretty easily when he gets some open field like that, and he does. To credit Hughes with a nice decision there.
Keep an eye on the left side of the line. Cameron Fry, the starting left tackle, going to have to come out for 1 play because his helmet came off. See if Villanova able to dial up some pressure and put his backup Lyndon Clemens under any sort of pressure. Important first down, though, as they'll run the other way towards the right.
Yeah, it's Turner, Inge, and Wobodeau on the tackle, only after a 1-yard gain. And it's 4-down territory, I think, now for the Tribe. They're down 2. Field goals don't do them any good.
Now this is a William & Mary team that is going to have to come up with some big chunk plays.
Yeah.
They have 4 plays through the air of 15 yards or more.
And picked up a PI on one as well. So, those are 15-yard chunks as well.
Still plenty of time, but can't afford to give the ball back to Villanova in this spot. Hughes flushed out of the pocket again, looking downfield. It's caught by Lemon trying to turn upfield. Lemon still on his feet, continuing to churn the legs, and the senior transfer from VMI picks up another first down.
He shows his lower body strength there, breaking tackles and picking up a first down.
Gain of 13. And good patience.
Yeah, good job by Hughes, keeping his eyes down the field. And then you see him finishing the run.
Tribe going quickly. Hughes, again, not with much time and out of the reach of Sims.
And he took a big hit there as well as Hartzell and Devote got a shot on him.
One of the big stories of the first quarter, in case you weren't with us, was how much time Tyler Hughes had in the pocket. That is starting to dwindle a bit here late in the game.
Yeah. Not that he can't make plays outside the pocket. He certainly can with his legs, but you want to get him off his spot. Just can't have him sit back there and be inaccurate with the ball. You want to flush him to his left if you can. He's been a little bit not quite as accurate going left as he has right, which is normal for most right-handed throwers.
They'll keep it on the ground.
It's a really nice play by Hartzell again. You want to know why he's a first-team all-league selection? It's plays like that in the run game with a tackle for a loss to bring up 3rd and long.
Sims going absolutely nowhere that time. Hartzell with an important play. And you can make the argument now that this is the most important play of the ball game.
Yeah, I do think they do have 2 plays to make these 12 yards, though. I don't think you're going to punt the ball away here with 7:20 to go, down 2 scores.
Especially on this side of the field. Bunch formation to the right of Hughes, who's looking in that direction. Over the middle, he's got his man. That's Joseph Johnson with a huge first down and a gain of 23.
A really nice throw by Hughes, a good pattern by Johnson, and a beautiful throw by Hughes on a 3rd and 12. Johnson just steps and throws, and he hits him right on the numbers, and Hawkins just a little late with the hit. Found a gap in the zone defense. Wildcats bending here, but they can't break. Just don't give up the touchdown. That looks like a false start.
Referees will allow play to continue. Hughes looking long. He's got a man, and it's just down to the reach of Damian Harris.
Yeah, Sapp was closing, but if he could have thrown that closer to Hawkins, who was in coverage, got behind him a little bit. So they had a shot there, just unable to execute it.
Harris had a step there, and maybe just too much air underneath him.
He had a step on Hawkins. Sapp coming in, closing. Might have heard some footsteps.
So 2nd and 10 from Villanova's 25.
Comes a reverse.
Little bit of trickery to get into open space. A chance on the right for Armand Wright.
Good job by Turner Inge not to give up on that play. Give him 4 yards to bring up another 3rd down, but Inge went from sideline to sideline on that play. Now give him a rest. They'll bring Bursey on. Nice play by Inge.
Winston October, the offensive coordinator, trying to dip into his bag of tricks.
And you get Coco in there as well. He'll play at one defensive end. They're trying to rotate those linemen to keep him fresh, to try to keep some pass rush on this quarterback.
Surely 4-down territory
Ivan
now.
Murray in there, Capri Martin as well on the front line.
Clock continues to tick down now to 6 minutes left. Hughes will check it down and pick up the surefire first down with Raymond. Tribe still with their full complement of timeouts with which to work.
That's really important, because if they can get a stop, they'll have 3 timeouts left. The Wildcats just need to keep them out of the end zone here.
Plus the 2-minute stoppage as well. Continuing to march down the field are the Tribe. Hughes didn't have his first read there, so he'll pull it down and try to take it himself. He cuts back upfield. It's still Hughes all the way down to the 1 where he is stopped, but a big run of 13 improvisation from Tyler Hughes.
Yeah, they just get him out in space, and there's only Hartzell out there. So if he's able to get by Hartzell, everyone else is in man coverage. There's nobody out there to get him.
And now right on the doorstep of the Tribe, he didn't.
Not sure why they're stopping the clock. I guess they're going to mark the football, but the clock should be running here. Why is the clock not running? It's second down. Start the clock.
They're waving the clock to still be stopped.
Yeah, that makes no sense to me, unless there's an injured player that I'm missing.
Doesn't look like it.
And this is not being handled correctly by the officials.
Well, now they're going to come together and perhaps talk about whether or not Hughes did get in, but this will allow the Tribe to get right over the ball and snap it right away.
This is a mistake by the officials.
Illegal substitution.
Oh, boy.
12-man formation, defense, half the distance to the goal, first down.
All right, so there's why your clock was stopped. I did not see the flag anywhere.
That more impacts the down than the
distance.
This
referee's taking forever to give us the calls. Walking around, asking everybody their opinion.
So it'll move the ball about an inch and a half.
The guy counted to 12. That's a penalty. Didn't really need all that discussion.
Hughes in the shotgun will hand it off. There is Josh Miller. Is he in? Tribe say yes.
Here we go
Official
again.
still thinking about it.
No signal yet.
Clock is stopped again.
It shouldn't be because they haven't made a decision. It's like he's going to be.
Oh, now they will roll it.
I haven't seen any hands I haven't seen any hands go up.
He is short.
So it's only second down because of the penalty, I believe. Yeah.
Miller.
This is where you'd love to see a false start or something to push him back.
Miller remains in the contest. Hughes going to take it off tackle himself. He's in. Tyler Hughes with a touchdown run, and it's game on here at Villanova Stadium.
Good decision there to kind of go over the guards. This is an interesting thing. You're going to kick the extra point. A lot of times in the NFL, these teams will go for 2 here, knowing that the percentages tell them you'll make one of your 2-point conversion plays. So at worst, you'll end up with a tie game. But if you make 2 here, then you only know an extra point. You only need an extra point to go ahead.
They'll put the ball on the foot of Keegan Shackford to try to cut the deficit back down to 7. The Tribe marching 75 yards down the field. And the extra point is good. What a drive that is from the William & Mary Tribe, and they finish it off with Hughes with a rushing touchdown.
Yeah, he did a good job. See, instead of trying to fight in the middle, they went off the edge and was able to get in. Good decision by Hughes.
Hughes has been involved on all 3 touchdowns, 1 through the air and 2 on the ground for himself. And so now we really have a ball game, Steve, with 4:38 to go.
Yeah, as mentioned, William & Mary with all 3 timeouts. In a perfect world, Villanova would love to not give the ball back to William & Mary and be able to run out this clock. With 3 timeouts and a 2-minute timeout still left, it's going to require a handful of first downs for sure.
14 plays, 75 yards. It ate up 5 minutes and 40 seconds, but that still leaves plenty for the Tribe to operate with.
The Wildcats are looking here at they think onside kick. There's nobody back deep. I would kick this ball deep if I'm William & Mary.
And then can perhaps have the chance to run onto it as well.
This is interesting here.
Tribe have not attempted an onside kick yet this year.
Yeah, I would kick this ball to the 10-yard line, see if you can get down there and cover it.
Sam Braidwood is the kickoff man for William & Mary.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's not a good job by the kicker there, kicking the ball through the end zone. I would land that ball at the 5 or 10-yard line and make Villanova go back and field it. They had nobody back. Isaiah Wright was at the 25-yard line.
I guess the other argument against is that this game was changed on the kickoff return for a touchdown, so you don't want to decide this game on special teams.
Yeah, well, Mace wasn't even on the field.
Yeah.
The guy that hit you with a home run for 100 yards. Yeah, I just think the kicker had all kinds of field to land that thing at the 10-yard line where no one's going to catch it. It's going to bounce around. Lord knows where it's going to go. But if you land that in the playing field, Villanova probably not getting any field position past the 15 at the best.
So it will be the 25 that McQuaid and the Cats start
I'm surprised to see Ragland in at running back. Thought we'd see Abbott to try to finish this thing off.
Keep an eye on number 4. Luke Banbury is going to have something to say about this final, perhaps, drive of the contest.
Good run by Ragland to get it out past the 30.
Banbury was right there to meet him.
He broke that tackle of Banbury and spun off for an extra couple of yards. And here comes Abbott. So a nice job by Ragland on first down. Second down and about 4. Clock could be under 4 minutes to go if they want to run it down. Yeah, Banbury had him, and then just good job by Ragland to break that tackle. See Banbury 4 right there getting up. This is a big play here. You want to make it at least 3rd and 1.
Wildcats are 6 for 11 on 3rd down if it should get that far. And again, they will try to let as much clock seep away as possible. They give it to Abbott. He is going to charge forward right near the line.
Yeah, he's going to get, all he has to do is get the nose of the football to the 35, and he does that.
They'll move the sticks, and an important first down.
So that's 1 first down. The Wildcats are going to need probably 2 more at least with the timeouts and the 2-minute warning. But they should be in that huddle until that clock gets down. There's 25 in the play clock. This ball should not be snapped much before 3:10 on the play clock. Excuse me, on the game clock.
Tribe didn't take a timeout on that first series, though.
Did they take one? They did not.
No.
Yeah, so they still have their 3 and the 2-minute timeout.
Going to be a healthy dose of David Abbott the rest of the way, you'd imagine. Here he is again, trying to navigate through some space, and he gets into some open space. David Abbott on the run inside the 40.
That breaks it down into 38, and that's just a huge run. At the worst, it flips field position. Now the Wildcats, with maybe 1 more first down, can get themselves in field goal position and make this a 2-score game again.
A gain of 26 for Abbott.
And now Mike London's got to decide, when do I want to start using my timeouts?
We are down towards 2.5 minutes left.
And once again, the play clock at 12. This ball should not be snapped for another 10 seconds.
The graduate student McQuaid will finally get the snap off. He gives it back, and again, it's bottled up.
Yeah, Abbott gets about 2, and then Mike London will take his timeout with 2:23 to go.
First charge, timeout of the half. William and Mary.
So they could
it'll be 30 seconds.
They would probably use one again here on 2nd down. Say that leaves you about 2:15, 2:18 to go. And then they could save one for offensive, then get a 3 and out. So the Wildcats really we're going to need 1 first down past the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, that would seal the deal and move Villanova to 2-2 on the season and get themselves their first CAA win of the year. Mike London's team has come here to Villanova to battle. They have certainly not made it easy on the number 20 team in the nation, not by a long shot. But if you are going to trust one player to get the job done for Villanova, David Abbott has 132 yards and 3 touchdowns. So for the game to more than likely come down to him getting 1 more first down, there are worse players for Villanova to lean on.
You lean on this veteran offensive line. Obviously, William Mary's going to sell out for the run. So if Abbott could pop one through, it's going to be actually Ragland in. So give Abbott a break after that long run. So if they could, if they can break one through this line, he's going to have a lot of open room with just probably 1 deep safety, as they're going to have 8 men up in the box.
It was officially a gain of 27. They mark it that long
Wildcats really need, probably need at least 5 yards to probably feel comfortable with a field goal if they want to try one on 4th down. Now here in 2nd down and 8, probably would need another 5 yards.
Ragland has 50 yards on the ground so far today. They give it back to him. He's got a lane. Ragland's got a first down.
And that puts Mike London in a box. That's a huge run by Isaiah Ragland. Now, when do you use your timeouts? Do you let it go down to the 2-minute warning? And it looks like they're going to take it.
Half.
So now they can take their 3rd.
30 seconds
on 1st down here. So that's going to set them up. They're still going to have an opportunity. Villanova needs 1 more first down.
If the Wildcats can't score, theoretically, there would still be room for about 50 seconds or so for William and Mary, but that is a first down worth its weight in gold for Ragland.
And you see Ragland there, 2 hands on the football.
Please reset the game clock to 2:14, 2:14.
They'll put 1 second back.
And now, worst case scenario, you're in field goal range. If you need to take a kick, which on 4th down, which the Wildcats hope doesn't come to, they're saying, hey guys, we need 11 yards. We can get 11 yards here, we can win this football game.
Thank you.
Our referees are nothing if not polite today.
Ragland remains in the game. Interesting, if Mike London probably would use his timeout here before the 2-minute warning, his last one, and then gets the stoppage at 2 minutes.
Villanova has gotten 13 first downs with a rushing play today. They need one more. Ragland changes direction, ran right back into the try, but keeps the legs churning.
And takes it down to...
They'll let it run down to the 2-minute timeout.
All right, so there'll be 2 minutes to go. William & Mary will have one timeout remaining.
And it will be 2nd down and 7 on the other side.
This is
Villanova,
the 2-minute timeout.
trying to close things out and pick up win number 2 of 2025. Conclusion of regulation on the other side.
When local kids go pro in Philly, it's a reflection of us all. Youth coaches, family, and the hometown health insurer who covers them. Independence Blue Cross has had Quinn and Kevin Sullivan's back since day one, because we take care of our own here.
At Mainline Health, we make sure that heart care is heartfelt. From murmurs to heart valve disease, we listen, we treat, we innovate. It's where your health is held alongside your humanity, where cutting-edge clinical trials meet compassion, with expertise ranging from preventive to pioneering, because human care listens to your heartbeat and who it beats for. So if the rhythm of life changes, turn to the place where world-class isn't just nearby. It's where human care has a home.
Right here is where you make things. But the most important things you make here are memories. At Freedom, we understand what every part of your home means to you. That's why we take such a personal approach to helping veterans. So while there are lots of workshops, this one's different because it's a workshop in the garage of a home that's all yours. The home that Freedom helped you get.
When local kids go pro in Philly, it's a reflection of us all. Youth coaches, family, and the hometown health insurer who covers them. Independence Blue Cross has had Quinn and Kevin Sullivan's back since day one, because we take care of our own here.
Well, here we go. Final 2 minutes of the 4th quarter. Villanova trying to salt this game away. 2nd down and 7. Tribe have 1 timeout left. And Villanova looking for 1 more first down to put this game in their back pocket. Number 20 in the nation, certainly being pushed by this William & Mary team. Well, it's been an excellent back and forth ball game. Isaiah Ragland remains the back. He's had an excellent 4th quarter. They give it back to Ragland. Stutter steps for a gain of 2 in the final timeout taken.
So 1:57 to go. That William & Mary can no longer
Final
stop
charge,
the clock.
timeout of the half.
So it'll be
William &
3rd
Mary.
down here. So Villanova will run a play here. Let's say they run the football. That takes 4 or 5 seconds. And then they can run the whole 40 off. So you take 45 seconds. You know, it's a minute and 12 or so. You know, I would assume Villanova would probably come out and try to kick a field goal and ice this game with a 10-point lead.
Jack Barnum has already converted from 43 yards out, looking at, as it stands, about a 37, 38-yard attempt.
And right now it's 3rd and 5.
The one thing you can't do here is take a penalty to back you up. Villanova's improved on that from halftime.
And that stops the clock as well, a penalty, so you don't want that.
8 first-half penalties for Villanova, only 3 in the second half so far.
But you draw up your best 6-yard run play you got in the playbook, and hopefully we can convert, and it's Ovid back in. I'll give Ragland a breather, who did a really nice job on this series.
So here is the play of the day so far.
And you obviously have to have ball security here.
They
go 2 tight end as well.
The run of 14 straight games with a turnover for William & Mary in jeopardy. You know, they'll be hunting after the ball here on 3rd down. Unsurprisingly, giving it to Abbott, who runs right into a couple of Tribe players. He still keeps the legs churning to fall forward. It'll be a 36-yard field goal attempt on 4th down and 4.
Villanova should run this all the way down to 1 and take a timeout.
Yeah, because the offense is still out on the field is not an indication they're going for it on 4th down.
They can get this down to under 108. Yeah, you trust your field goal unit here to make a kick to win you the game. Mark Ferrante out there with the line judge, so he's going to let it get to 1 on the play clock. And then he'll go with his kicker here, hopefully looking at about 36 yards. Hopefully he can knock one through and win you a football game.
That would just about be that. If the lead balloons up to 10 at this stage, the timeout is taken with 1:09.
Final charge, timeout of the half. Villanova.
There was absolutely nobody within about 5 yards of Jack Barnum on the sidelines.
Yeah, the old let him talk. William & Mary can't ice him. They're out of timeout, so he'll get his regular routine here.
And even now in the huddle, he's kind of standing off by himself.
It was the old lonely world of a kicker. But if he's able to knock this through, he'll have about 93 teammates jumping all over him.
Like a baseball pitcher who's working on a no-hitter, you just don't want to be anywhere near him.
So we'll just give you all the scenarios here. If this kick is not good, there'll be about 1 minute and 5, 1 minute and 4 left. William & Mary will get the ball at the 20-yard line with no timeouts, and they'll need 80 yards to tie the game. But Barnum could make that a moot point if he's able to knock this one through. It's in the middle of the field.
Jack Barnum is 1 for 2 today.
And it'll be 36 yards.
He converted from 43. He missed from about 56 right at the end of the half. And this to all but ice it. Operation is good. The kick is up. It's on its way. It's no good. He missed it wide right. And the door is open for the try.
So Barnum just left it out there a little bit wide, pushed it to the right. So it'll be up to Villanova's defense here to get a stop with 1:05 to go and no timeouts left for William & Mary.
So Tyler Hughes will have an opportunity.
So unfortunately from Barnum, had plenty of leg on it. He just pushed it out to the right and no good. So still plenty of time left here for William & Mary to try to put something together. They'll need to go 80 yards, but they have enough time. Clock will stop on first downs. Last 2 minutes of the half and game.
During the long off seasons, you prepare for these kinds of scenarios. 2-minute drill, 1-minute drill, 3 timeouts, no timeouts. You need a good start if you're Hughes. Looking over the middle, he's got his man. That is Lemon.
Yeah, if that's a poor throw, though, because he hits him in stride. There was nobody near Lemon. He continues to run. He had to go to the ground and make the catch. And only a 7-yard gain, so the clock keeps moving.
Villanova will take that. You almost would rather have the incompletion there for William & Mary and keep the time on the field. Now they look left. That's another first down.
Yeah, so that'll stop it because they got a first down.
That's Thompson.
What they're trying to do, William & Mary, if anything, just get we can get in a Hail Mary range. They're going to spike it. So now it's second down with 39 seconds to go.
So you lose the down, but you preserve a handful of time.
And you get to maybe get 2 plays here. So you'll huddle up and call 2 plays. And Hughes is hoping. I've not seen his arm strength. I don't know how far he can get it. You assume a guy at this level get it to midfield, that he could probably get it to the end zone?
Well, his longest play of his season is 79 yards, but that was mostly catch and run to Thompson.
So you think you want to get to at least midfield. There's still plenty of time here with 39 seconds. Great chance for the Wildcats to come up with one of those turnovers.
Keep an eye on Thompson, number 7. They're going to be looking for him the rest of the way. Hughes flushed out of the pocket, rolling right. Hughes looking towards the sideline, incomplete, knocked away by Julian Tolley.
Yeah, good job by Tolley there. Makes a good play on the ball as both receiver and defender go for the ball, and it falls to the ground. That play took 7 seconds as well, so now we're down to 32, and it's third down here. Obviously 4-down territory. Good job by Tolley breaking on the ball. So 3rd and 10, the Wildcats need 2 stops.
No Zamir Dawood. He remains out of the game for Villanova.
Yeah, that's their top corner, so that's important to note. Adderley back in. Both teams out of timeouts, just a note.
And 32 seconds left on the timer. Crowd starts to get to its feet. They hit a receiver over the middle. That's McElwain, the tight end, short of the line to gain.
So it's 4th down 2. They cannot spike the ball here on 4th down and 2. So they need to have a completion.
15 seconds left for William & Mary. Must get to the 45-yard line. Looking left, they've got the first down. Raymond gets out of bounds with 9 seconds left.
And now they could probably have 2 plays left, and they are at midfield. So do you take like a little 5-yard out again, try to get you close enough where you can get the ball to the end zone?
What a ball game.
Yeah, Villanova's hope was let's not let them get where they can get the ball to the end zone.
Clock operator, please reset the game clock to 9 seconds. 9 seconds.
Yeah, that was right. They went out of bounds at 9, and then the clock keeps running for 2 more.
So that does help them a little bit. I still think it's 2 plays. And the question is, with no timeouts, do you take 2 plays at the end zone here? You know, you could run one in 7 seconds. Gives you 2 chances to get the ball over the end zone, or do you try to get 7 or 8 yards and set up something else?
Hughes looking long down the left. It is out of bounds. 5 seconds left, and now this will be the last play.
Yeah, so now you're probably looking at, unless they can throw something quick and out of bounds, as Ben mentioned, their last play, if they're going to go for the home run.
Offensive line needs to give Hughes enough time.
Let's see if they go Hail Mary here from midfield. if they go Hail Mary, this will be the last play. It'll take the ball that long to get down the field.
Yeah, the underrated part of executing the Hail Mary is the line giving you enough time to get those receivers down there.
It's interesting here. I don't see, you usually see like 3 guys on one side of the field. You don't see that here. There's 2 receivers each side. So they might try to go 5, something quick, but only 5 seconds. That makes it really tight.
Play clock down to 3 seconds, too. They get the snap off. Here comes the pressure.
That'll do it.
Down he goes! Villanova wins it!
Shane Hartzell finishes it off with a sack. Capri Martin in there as well. And he does the Dexter Lawrence dance for us.
An impact play on defense on the final play of the game, and Villanova outlasts William & Mary 31-24.
So the Wildcat defense comes up with a stop when they most needed it. A much maligned defense over the last 2 weeks.
At the defense for Villanova holding firm when it mattered most, and the Cats are 2-2. We'll be right back with post-game reaction, and we'll hear from some of the players who mattered most for Villanova. Don't go anywhere. Cats win it 31-24. Villanova with a 31-24 win as we wrap things up here at Villanova Stadium alongside Steve Pannone. Ben Curtis here with you post-game as the Cats move to 2-2 on the season. 3 touchdowns today yet again from David Abbott, and he is downstairs with Tessa Pelosa.
David, you told me this week you strive for greatness. You want to do everything you can to help this team. 3 touchdowns for you today. What did you see up front that allowed the run game to click for you?
Open space, honestly. Like, the O-line was working. O-line was getting like 5 yards. Like, the O-line was legitimately pushing them back 5 yards every single play. So I just got to thank my big guys up front. They made it very easy for me today. And it's just like, when we work in tandem, when we work as a group, it's just easy for us. I don't think no one can stop us.
You said it best, when you work as a group, no one could stop you. You knew this William & Mary team. You guys were going to be battle tested. How could you characterize this win for us?
I mean, it's a great win, honestly. Like, they're a great team. William & Mary, they were in the gaps like they were supposed to be. They did everything they were supposed to. But I feel like we were just a better team today. We just came out with more energy, and we won this win. We need this win. When was the last time you seen a 1-2 Villanova team? And it won't ever happen again. We're about to take this season to another level.
I love that you said that. Take it to another level. A win in CAA play. You know how big this is. How good does this one feel?
Honestly, great. We just got to keep it up. You know, we got a tough schedule coming up. We got some dudes who have our name on their list, and we got to go right at them. We're not scared of nobody. We want everyone.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Great stuff, Tessa. Well, David Abbott throwing down the gauntlet to the rest of the CAA as he gets another 3-touchdown day, and Villanova moves to 2-2 on the season. Important first conference win as well that David mentioned. That really sets the tone for the rest of the year.
Yeah, and I think Tessa might even have Coach Ferrante with her too. Maybe we might get another interview with him, get a chance to hear what Coach has to say. But yeah, Villanova coming off those 2 tough losses, get this win today was huge. And both sides of the ball, and don't forget special teams. Jabril Mace with the play of the game.
Looks like Tessa is downstairs with the Villanova head coach, Mark Ferrante.
Coach, defense makes a huge stop at the end of the game. I have to start with that. What could you say about their efforts tonight?
Yeah, any stop's a great stop, and our defense seemed to regroup at halftime, and we played much better from what it looked like in the second half. We gave up too many third down conversions in the first half and had too many penalties, so we cleaned that up in the second half, and we didn't keep them off the board, but, we had an opportunity to do so. And that was huge at the end. Putting our guys in there, you knew they had to throw it down the field, and we got the rush that we needed and didn't have any timeouts left, so we were able to burn the clock out.
You mentioned halftime. When we spoke, I asked you at half, how do you change this momentum going into the second half? Jabril Mace, 100-yard kick return for a touchdown, put you guys up. What were those conversations like at half to kind of change things around?
Yeah, obviously that was the spark we needed, because it seemed, I don't know what it is with this team, but we don't seem to have a lot of, I don't want to call it enthusiasm or energy because they play hard, but it's quiet than some other teams. There's usually a little more noise on the sideline behind me with the guys that are on the sideline, but the spark was the kickoff return. That obviously sparked everybody. That was a huge momentum changer, and we kind of rode that all the way to the very end. Obviously, to have a last possession stop to seal it, I would have much rather kept it within a 14 or hit that field goal to make it 10 points, but we'll take them in and we can get them at this point in time.
Your team suffered a handful of penalties in the first half. How were they able to bounce back from that and be successful in the second half?
And we just talked about it at halftime. We had much less in the second half, and I said, guys, here's what you got to do. Continue to play hard, continue to play, but we got to continue to play with enthusiasm, but we have to focus, and we have to play a little more discipline because, they didn't earn a lot in that first half. We gave them some plays, and no disrespect to them because they're a good team as well, but, it seems like we did a better job. Our coaches made some halftime adjustments. Our guys came out and executed better in the second half than we did in the first half.
18 wins here at home, Coach. I'm sure this one feels good.
Yeah, sure. Any win's a good win. I don't know what the number is, but it's 1-0 this week.
Absolutely. Thank you. Congratulations, guys.
Thanks so much, Tessa. It is 18 wins in a row for Villanova at home, dating back to 2022. Get a look at some of the top Wildcats of the game. Shane Hartzell on defense had himself a contest.
Yeah, I saw Ross Pennypacker during the week, and he says, I hope you're calling Shane Hartzell's name a whole lot because we're going to need that today. And there you see 10 tackles, 2 sacks, 4 tackles for loss. And that's what you need out of your all-league, all-American type player. And then you talked about Avid. He was phenomenal at the 27-yard run there in the fourth quarter. He runs for 133, 3 touchdowns. And McQuaid took care of the football. He's what everyone said he was. 194 yards, 15, no turnovers. You talk about how William & Mary had turned so many guys over in a row, and they played a clean game today on offense.
Tribe had a +4 turnover margin. There were 0 turnovers for either team. And if you ask Mark Ferrante to sign at the dotted line for that at the start of the game, he definitely would have.
He wanted clean football. He didn't get it with the penalties in the first half. They cleaned it up in the second half, but you take care of the football. No turnovers. Now, he'll talk about the defense has got to get us some turnovers, but William & Mary is one of those teams that does a really good job of taking care of the football.
So we'll look back at some of the big moments from a thriller here at Villanova Stadium as we look at our post-game highlights. Each team had the lead early on in the contest. It was Abbott who struck first for Villanova.
Yeah, he just set up this short run here after that long run. He just uses his power to get through. He talked about all the work he's done in the offseason, getting stronger and faster, and you kind of see it here. We've seen the power run, and this is a really nice, it's a missed tackle, but a really nice run by the wide receiver from William & Mary to get into the end zone.
That was Sims for the Tribe, and then Hughes was able to power it in himself, and just like that, it was 14-7 Tribe, but a good response from Villanova.
Yeah, this is what Abbott was talking about. He goes 16 yards untouched. You talk about knocking the guys off the ball, 5 yards down the field. Temi Ajura Tutu on the pull there, just gave him space. And here's the play of the game right here. Jabril Mace, second half kickoff, takes it to the house, 100 yards, and the poor kicker's trying to chase him down, and it's not going to happen.
That really set the tone. The first play of the second half, Villanova flipped a 17-14 deficit into a lead that they would not relinquish the rest of the way.
And there's Abbott just not giving up, spinning, twisting, extending the ball over the plane for another touchdown.
But the Tribe weren't done. Credit to William & Mary for closing this down to a 1-score game. Hughes was excellent with his feet as well as through the air.
Yeah, that was a big run there. They got it down there, and the quarterback sneaks it in. That made it a 7-point game with about 4.5 minutes to go. And we talked about the missed field goal, and then Capri Martin's going to get home, and then Hartzell's going to finish him off as well. He's trying to rip the ball out of there. Actually, we'd rather have him go down with the ball because the game's going to be over.
298 total yards for Hughes, but it didn't matter in the end. Villanova, Tessa mentioned it, was able to keep those penalties down in the second half.
8 in the first half, only 3 in the second half. They had, I remember midway through the third quarter, I think it was 10 for 90 yards. So they picked up a one 5-yard penalty after that. But look at the numbers. This is why this is a really good football game. You look at those numbers, 24 first downs to 23. The total yards within 60, 70 yards of each other. The Wildcats did a really good job on the ground, which is what we thought their bread and butter would be this year, 232 yards rushing, so almost 110 yards more than William & Mary on the ground. William & Mary a little bit of edge in the passing game, but a really good win against a really good CAA football game today, and the Wildcats get their 18th straight home win with a 31-24 victory.
Wildcats outscore the Tribe 17-7 in the second half en route to a come-from-behind victory. Steve, any more thoughts from a thriller before we wrap it up?
No, I think it's just sometimes you need to flush your system. After Villanova had those 2 tough defensive outings against, Penn State and then a really good Monmouth offense, and then to hold this team to 7 points in the second half, and that was actually, I don't want to say it was a prevent defense, but you're up 14, you're trying not to give up the big play, you gave up a couple of third downs and that thing, but I think what you'd want to, Greg, is take that second half defense to New Hampshire with you next week and try to get 2 in a row.
Wildcats will turn their attention to New Hampshire, and the Tribe, who fall in 2-3, will return home against North Carolina A&T. That will just about do it for us, for our entire Flow Sports crew, our fantastic producer Gabe Steiner, Tessa Peloso back downstairs on the sidelines, and my broadcast partner Steve Pannone. My name is Ben Curtis saying so long and see you real soon from Villanova Stadium. Your final score here tonight, Wildcats win it 31-24.